15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Jacobs to the right side of Love in the shotgun slot left. And faking the handoff. Love rolls right, throws end zone.
He's
Tucker
got him.
Kraft, touchdown! And a Lambeau leap to the north end zone stands. They beat Will Harris on a beautiful play fake by Jordan Love. Tucker Kraft, 8-yard touchdown reception.
Thank you to the Packers Radio Network. That was Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft, who apparently had more receiving yards by a tight end for Green Bay than anyone in 10 years. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. That was a fun nugget. 2015, the last time a tight end for Green Bay had that many yards.
Was that Robert Tonyan?
No, it was the Richard Rodgers.
I love Richard Rodgers.
to Richard Rodgers. Welcome to the show. Green Bay, the big winners last night, 27-18 over the Commanders, Pearl. And, you know, my big takeaway from this game, first and foremost, above all else, is this Packers defense is just so good. I mean, the Micah Parsons trade, and I'm sorry for our fans in Dallas, it looks like you guys lost this one. And I know that that's been controversial, and I know there are a lot of people in Dallas who said good riddance and get him out of here, and Jerry Jones is back on his game. It's not that way. Or maybe Micah was just the perfect addition here, because that was my biggest takeaway. Jaden Daniels did not look like the offensive rookie year and a future MVP last night because of the pressure that Green Bay got on him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you actually I haven't not seen the tape, as the faux experts say, but Jaden Daniels, he didn't do anything wrong. He had 2 seconds to throw at best.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Micah Parsons that you thought you saw in Dallas last year dominating was there last night. Incredible how fast he revved up here. Back to the Dallas thing. Like, I think he's much more valuable to the Packers than he is to the Cowboys. The Cowboys with Micah Parsons are at best a wild card team. Now Micah Parsons is obviously seems like the missing piece on a Super Bowl team. He was incredible, and he caused so many problems for that Washington offensive line every single play.
Yeah. I mean, they could not block. And they could not block for Jaden Daniels, that Washington offensive line. You had rookie tackles on both sides, too, and they were kind of both getting a little bit abused at times. But see, Here's the thing, though, why I can't let Jerry off the hook is because what did you just say? Green Bay, this is the perfect defense for Micah Parsons to go in and be a finishing piece. Well, Jerry's been drafting first-round picks on defense also. I think they just pick
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
He's been drafting linemen. Linemen. 3 linemen named Tyler in 3 straight drafts.
How about Mazzie Smith? What is he? How did Idigizua get here? I mean, you have high draft picks, maybe not all exactly first rounders, but first and second high round draft picks who you've been putting on the defensive side of the ball. And the fact that you have this talent in Micah Parsons who has come in and at least for now, looked very, very stout and very much helping the rest of the defense. Like they talked about it ad nauseum last night, almost too much, about how much he helps out Rashawn Gary.
Well, I would think it's it's funny. Green Bay famously was overdrafting defense when Aaron Rodgers was there. They would not draft a receiver for this dude, and it never. What did it amount to? Nothing. The defense was always fell short in the big moments. Now all those first-round picks look great because of Micah Parsons. All of a sudden, Rashawn Gary's unstoppable. All of a sudden, Lucas Van Ness is in the defensive backfield. I know Edgerrin Cooper was at a first-round pick. Quay Walker looks awesome. So he has sort of gotten the best. They have more first-round picks on defense than probably any team in the league. I can't imagine that there's a team with more first-round picks, and they're all at their peak now because Micah Parsons is drawing so much attention. So that's why I think he's more valuable to Green Bay. It's amazing that we turned this into a Dallas story, but I get exactly where you're going. And because Micah was awesome.
Yeah, it's like hard not to always have that in the back of your mind. They were even showing, somebody had written something outside the stadium, "Thank you, Jerry," and Jerry Jones's picture on it. And, it's just, this is what happens also when you do trade somebody with that much value inside your conference and somebody who you have a long history of playoff matchups against, right? Like if they had traded Micah Parsons, to the Raiders, or I know they played each other in the 70s, but like if you had traded them to the AFC or something like that, I don't think it continues to be this referendum. But can I also point out something else about the defense? And you're welcome to weigh in at 888-710-4ISN. We've seen this Packers offense be like a vertical offense, right? Like they will take any shot at any time. It is a very vertical passing game. They have the balance of the run with Josh Jacobs, but Jordan Love doesn't scramble a ton. He's in there throwing darts down the field, and it just makes it so much more. They can take those kind of shots because the defense, they know, is going to always keep them in the game and give them a chance. Like, I was surprised. I know they're a vertical offense, so I guess I wasn't that shocked. But, they will take a shot at any time, and I think they feel like this offense can really move around, spread out. I know they lost Jaden Reed last night, which stinks, to a collarbone. But it was like, what a luxury for your offense that you can take all these shots because the defense is there to back you up.
But would you say they're a vertical offense?
Yeah.
I mean, they're a run-first offense, though, primarily. I mean,
what
I don't
it
think
looked like last night.
I mean, Josh Jacobs had 23 carries.
No, I know, but what were they doing to Marshawn Lattimore? I mean,
yes, when they do pass, like Jordan Love is going super deep this year. That's totally true. But this is a team that will, the score was a lot closer than it should have been, right?
Exactly.
But that's because LaFleur's natural tendency is to control the game on the ground. And honestly, like, if they had taken more vertical shots, they probably could have been up by more. They're not really a team that they want to get this here's the pattern. They get this lead early, and then they sit on it with a run game. That's why the two final scores have been deceivingly close.
Yep.
I don't think LaFleur I don't think he wants to open up this offense at all. I think he's generally a cautious guy.
I mean, during the first half, Jordan Love was averaging 11 yards per pass, and he ended the game averaging 8 yards per pass. I mean, just to give you a flip side, Jaden Daniels was averaging 4 yards a pass.
But
they were going not vertical. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders were going, they could not get anything going in the pass game.
Yeah, but I mean, right. You're totally right, and that's in part the way the Washington was playing them on defense, but they ended up throwing the ball 31 times and handing it off 30 times. That's what makes this Green Bay team. Because what's the key to defense? I always say this: having a run game.
Sure.
Your offensive run game. If you can control the ball and let this defense stay fresh and unload on the quarterback, that's a Super Bowl formula.
No doubt. I guess I'm just saying, yes, they are having a balance in terms of attempts, but not all attempts are created equal, right? Like what Jordan Love and the Packers offense are attempting on the offense is these deeper throws, deeper routes, trying to go for more. And it's funny because they weren't really drawing as many penalties as you might think. But I think that's because some of the receivers are young and maybe some of those corners were a little shifty. I don't know.
By the way, what about this receiving core? Have you ever seen like 8 receivers who are interchangeable? Like, I don't even know. It's like, wait, was that Xavier Williams? Was that Jaden Reed unfortunately got hurt?
Yeah,
was
Dontavian
Wicks?
Yeah.
Matthew Golden
has no Dobbs because he has a big helmet.
Yeah, Dobbs has got the big
he's good.
protective helmet.
But the funny thing is Matthew Golden does nothing. He got open long once, but he has done absolutely zero since he got there. To finally take a wide receiver in the first round, and he doesn't even produce. It's so funny because they have this. We're doing this thing, this King of the Mountain, the best team ever.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you can still vote on. Week 2, King of the Mountain, the 1972 Dolphins versus the 1978 Steelers. Go ahead.
The Miami Dolphins had the no-name defense where basically they had 11 guys who were awesome. The Packers have the no-name wide receiver core where they have 7 non-stars who all play exactly the same and run around, and they do the end arounds. I really like this receiving core. It's a receiving core that has been criticized a lot. For one thing, they can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Christian Watson, their 1A, presumably, is never on the field. But now, I don't know if you know who to cover. Then they hit you with Tucker Kraft, the tight end. It's very hard. It's challenging. Like, who do you focus on? It's almost impossible.
Yeah, it is. It is. You see some teams doing this, right? Where they'd rather just have a lot of guys than one guy. And we'll see when they get to Golden, and if he needs to, he's got his whole career in front of him. If he ends up being like a highly paid, or if any of these guys end up getting highly paid, I know they gave Watson a little bit of a bump.
Matthew Golden, 2 catches in 2 games.
I mean, give him a minute. Right?
Yeah, no, he looks great too. That's why he just blew by the safety last night. By the way,
it's just, why was this game a 1-score game in the fourth quarter?
Because it's LaFleur. He just pulls it. He Why was it Detroit 27-13? That should have been 40-7.
No, I know. And I know they got, at one point they got stalled in the first half with a bad penalty that kind of ruined a drive. The kicker missed a field goal, the doinks last night. I understand, but they actually were 3 for 4 in the red zone, according to the box score. It's just such an odd thing. Like, I want to say hands down, Green Bay, not just Super Bowl team, but looks like they've got the formula and everything. But the one thing that's in the back of my mind is, are they going to be able to put good teams away?
Well, okay, I'll say one thing about it. This is 2 games at home. Do not discount, Lambeau, Washington on a short week, they're doing this whiteout thing, and the fans are all dressed in white, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's a hard environment. I mean, short
but again,
week.
1-score game in the fourth quarter. It
I'm
never
just saying,
felt like Washington had a chance,
but
it was a 1-score game.
But they're not going to dominate everybody like this. I mean, that was a particularly tough situation. I'm just saying they're not going to. They outgained them 2-1.
Yeah,
that
which
is not
funny
because
they ran the same number of plays.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, they trust me. Last night, you could tell. How soon did you guys know that game was over? I probably knew in the first quarter. I'm like, oh, this is not good. They could not block Micah Parsons. So Jay Daniels took about 900 hits last night too. I'm like, I almost feel go to the backup. This is not. You're not going to win the game. Why are you letting Jaden Daniels get hit by Micah Parsons time and time again?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels took some hits. A couple other guys were lost for Washington yesterday. Dietrich Wise gets carted off the field. Austin Eckler now has an Achilles.
Luckily, yeah.
They rely a lot on older guys. We knew this, and this is one of the reasons why I faded Washington going into this year. They look fine, but you're relying a lot on Deebo Samuel and Zach Ertz on offense. They do look great, but are they going to hold up for a whole season?
Well, one thing, they're not relying on Austin Eckler at all.
Well, I think he's probably gone.
He's done nothing. So that, by the way, I love Austin Eckler, but that is not a huge loss, because that should be Bill Krosky-Merritt's job 100% of the time. He's got twice the burst of Eckler. Yeah. And then Dietrich Wise, I wasn't super aware. I mean, he's done a 1-year, $3 million deal. These injuries are not devastating. Noah Brown. Dude,
yeah, another one.
You got to catch the ball. Noah Brown, by the way, for a journeyman wide receiver, has been involved in some of the biggest dramas. And I remember he was the guy that Dak threw the pick to in the San Francisco playoff game. He was I think he had the Hail Mary catch. Last night, it seemed like he was in the middle of everything. I'm like, why aren't you throwing the ball to Terry McLaurin? He just paid $30 million a year. Everything's going to Noah Brown.
Yeah, it was an odd thing with Washington. And you're welcome to weigh in on Green Bay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are they your front runner Super Bowl contender?
That's what I would say. Maybe
is that a weird
yes.
way to put
Just remember 2 games in Lambeau where they've looked dominant.
Yeah, and they have 5 of the next 6 on the road.
Yeah, so maybe revisit this in a month. I assume that defense will travel, and I assume actually Micah Parsons is even going to get in better game shape. So that all makes sense. I just wonder if they're going to dominate in this fashion.
Got to be honest, I was feeling like a little bit of a dope because I said, man, I faded the Commanders this year. A lot of 1-score games, a lot of relying on guys on the wrong side of 30. The oldest roster in the league, and man, I made a mistake. And then I watched the team last night, and I was like, I might have been onto something. And I thought that Dan Quinn did not have a good game either. There was some clock management stuff at the end of the first half where they were far too relaxed.
I like their strategy there. They knew they weren't getting any first down, so they tried to kill the clock.
But they have a kicker who, according to all the reporters in Washington, is not good from 50+.
Wow, they sure trotted him out there last night.
I know. And so I'm like, all right, but if the reporters know this, then obviously they know it. I was not really impressed with Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, and the entire operation. And, Jaden Daniels had no time. He was under duress, but he could not get loose. He was not able to run. There were not the signature big gains from him. And that was a tough watch.
And you're sure that's not a function of Green Bay's defense, who also shut down Detroit the week before.
That's fine, and then I'll go to the Commanders' defense was not good either. On both sides of the ball, I thought they were very, very unimpressive.
Yeah, it's a 4-day rest to go to Lambeau. Come on, I understand what you're saying.
This is a team that was in the NFC Championship last year. I think a lot of people believe they're going to pick up right where they left off. This was not And they played Manny's Giants in the first game. Like, that's not a true test. Sorry, Manny, of what this is going to be.
But this is not a true test either.
This is the litmus test.
No,
of course
it is
this
absolutely
is the true test.
not. 4-day rest to go to Green Bay after the first week of the season, and you really didn't do a preseason. That is not a litmus test. A litmus test was not week 1 and not week 2. I just don't think you should overjudge what happened there last night on Washington's end.
Yeah, see, I think it's fair because I think we believed that Washington was one of the upper echelon teams in the NFC where Jaden Daniels is like a tier 2, but like borderline tier 1 quarterback. And you brought back a lot of the same guys.
I think the Packers would have killed the Eagles in that situation last night. They obviously killed the Lions. I think they would have killed the Niners. I don't think there was any NFC team who in 4 days rest was going in and winning that game. I'll be totally honest. I don't actually think there's any team in the NFL, even your Bills, maybe the Ravens, but I mean,
aren't we talking about the Commanders kind of in that class?
No. You're saying that they're in like the Ravens,
Super Bowl contender class?
No. I mean, did you see people pick Washington?
I thought a lot of people were high on Jaden Daniels for sure, and pleasantly surprised, obviously, what they did last year.
I think a lot of people have them in the playoffs, but I don't think that they're that Super Bowl tier. We know the tiers. The top tier is probably 5 teams, and I don't think it's surprised. Like, show me one person that picked Washington Commanders to win the Super Bowl. Everyone knew they're old. Like, they're good. And even last night, you could see if you squint, Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback.
Of course he is.
So you have that. That's all I could give you, Mag.
Yeah, I mean, they were hyping him up in that pregame. Like, we were talking yesterday, is he going to be the MVP of the league?
Yeah.
And he didn't have a minute last night.
I would not rule that out. I mean, listen, Love obviously jumped ahead of him last night with that win, but Jaden Daniels could be a star. You're selling your Jaden Daniels stock? You just said we were talking about him as MVP of the league.
Yeah.
That implies that there's no way he's in that caliber.
I don't know if they're going to win enough games. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, so do the Packers look like the all-out front-runner Super Bowl contender? I don't know how you want to put that. And does Jerry look even worse with every primetime game that Micah Parsons is this disruptive and this, impactful?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that the camera's on him the entire game. But it gets back also, Saquon Barkley left the Giants and went to the Eagles. Eagles win the Super Bowl. But the truth is we all know Saquon Barkley would have won 5 games with the Giants that year. So that's what I'm saying with the Cowboys. Really, what do you have? If you kept Micah Parsons, what do you think? You were going to the Super Bowl? No way.
EJ, what's up?
Looks like the Commanders in terms of 68 people on ESPN. No one picked them to win the Super Bowl. 3 of them had them going to the Super Bowl.
3 out of 68. They have 68 people making picks over there?
They had 68 people make picks this season.
How many teams, actually, you
That's
can
a
look this
lot
up
of
at the break.
people.
How many different teams were picked as Super Bowl winners?
Good question. They broke it down pretty well. So for Super Bowl pick, stand by. I'm in the AFC right now. It's a long list.
But how many winners?
68 people.
Yeah.
So they had Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, that's 3, Eagles 4, Lions 5, Broncos 6, Buccaneers 7, Packers 8.
Buccaneer. Oh yeah, there was a little Buccaneers energy coming into the season.
Yeah, one person picked the Buccaneers. Only one person picked the Packers, but that could have been before the Parsons trade.
Only one person picked the Packers, huh?
Yeah, this was September 7th, so it was actually after the Parsons trade, ironically.
I picked the Packers. I know you like the Packers coming in this season too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought their defense is far and away the story today. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Yeah. Let's make Jerry look bad. We're getting a lot of Packers primetime, by the way.
Yeah,
They're one of those teams we're going to keep seeing. All right, you're welcome to weigh in. We have lots more for you, including even more updates for you on what's going on in San Francisco. And we've got a nice little college weekend to look forward to as well. Certainly better than last week. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show. All right, Pearl. Winner. Maggie's buying dinner.
Oh, yeah. Breakfast on Maggie.
All thanks to Prize Picks. It was a good night for me last night, putting together some college football together with the NFL. It's one of my favorite things to do on Prize Picks. I know, Pearl, you like to get a little funkier, a little baseball in with your college football, in with your WNBA. But that's what makes Prize Picks really cool. All you do is you pick 2 or more players across any sport, and you pick more or less on their projections. And if you're right, you win big. That's it. Simple stats, user-friendly. The app is phenomenal, and it's been our obsession so far this football season.
Yeah, it's amazing. By the way, Thursday Night Football, NC State.
At Wake.
NC State at Wake is like the standard Thursday Night Football matchup. I used to, as I always talk about, I did a year of Thursday Night Football. We must have gone to NC State 3 times. But obviously, Prize Picks is awesome. All transactions of the app are fast, safe, and secure. Don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code MNP and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play just $5. That's code MNP on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get the $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P. You're in a 4-minute break. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff show. Very frustrated, Mag.
Why?
Because we were doing this King of the Mountain contest to determine the greatest Super Bowl champion or best team in NFL history. Every week we pick a new team to challenge last week's winner. This week we had the 72 Dolphins, the undefeated Dolphins, against the 78 Steelers. And from lore, the 78 Steelers is my favorite team on this entire list, even better than last year's Eagles team. And they're barely winning a poll that is up on X right now at Maggie and Pearl. 72 Dolphins, 49.6%. Pittsburgh Steelers, 50.4%. 53 minutes left and counting. Please go vote for my Steelers. It was 10 Hall of Famers on that team.
He's trying to sway the election.
I was going to say, wait a minute. We both made the case yesterday. You love the 78 Steelers.
Voter fraud.
I think the 72 Dolphins should remain King of the Mountain because these two teams basically in their same form played each other, with the Dolphins winning in 1972 in Pittsburgh. But you can't tell people to vote for who you want. You just got to lay out the case.
That team they beat in 72 was not the 78 team. They were all up and coming. Terry Bradshaw was still 24. They had never won anything up to that point. Actually, they shouldn't have even been in that game because and we all know the Immaculate Reception touched the ground, right?
Don't do that.
That's tomorrow's poll. It's not voter fraud to campaign. I could campaign for
You just
one
said
side.
Go vote for the 78 Steelers.
That's called campaigning. Yeah, go vote for your candidate.
It felt like there was an or else.
Trust me,
there.
this is America 2025. You want to talk about voter fraud? We could do the whole show on that. But
Please don't.
go vote for this team. That's not voter fraud. That's called campaigning. Trust me, if I could go on the back end and fix these results, I would, because I really want to see the 78 Steelers advance.
Yeah, careful with those voting machines to get everybody sued. I think that the 72 Dolphins still have a very, very good case. They should continue to be the King of the Mountain. But anyway, go vote. As Perloff said, there's less than an hour at Maggie and Pearl. EJ's pinning the poll to the top of the X feed, so it's just going to be right there. Nice and easy for you. Go vote.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the great highlights from those Steelers teams. You got Lynn Swann with these acrobatic catches, John Stallworth going deep, Franco running. What is the highlight for the Dolphins? Their kicker fumbling the ball. There's nothing. What's the moment of the 72 Dolphins? They beat there were only 8 teams in the league at that point in 72. That was not nearly as impressive as people make it out.
Yeah, sure. Okay. They overcame one of the great special team blunders of all times to still win the Super Bowl. They won 11 straight with a backup quarterback. I mean, if you don't want the definition of a great full team,
that's the thing. The Steelers would have whooped Earl Morrall.
Well,
Earl Morrall was 38 at the time.
He was only passing the ball 6 times a game.
Yeah, the Steelers. That's true. Maybe the Dolphins. It would have been a great game, by the way, because the Steelers' defense was amazing. I mean, obviously the greatest linebacking core of all time would have shut down that run game.
So this is the current stuff we talk about right here on the Maggie and Perloff show. 72 Dolphins, 78 Steelers. But again, go vote. We're asking you about last night's game, which was a Green Bay Packers 27-18 win over the Washington Commanders.
Go, Pack, go!
Do the Packers look like the front-runner Super Bowl contender? Obviously, they played an extra game.
Right. They could be on this list someday. I mean, listen, I could see an argument. Oh, my God, you had Micah Parsons and Edgerrin Cooper on the same defense, and you had Jordan Love and name somebody else on Josh Jacobs. I mean, there are the pieces there for them to be an all-time great Super Bowl champion. I know that sounds like complete hyperbole, but if you do a future machine, hey, there's a lot of star power in Green Bay right now.
Yeah, they were highlighting on the broadcast all the Packers quarterbacks who have won when they were 27 years old, which is what Jordan Love is now. Going back to Bart Starr, and then obviously Favre and Rodgers, and now
I believe that's pronounced favor, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. The other thing too about yesterday, and I promise you, I'm not just trying to do that thing. It did cross my mind over and over again how much Jerry Jones lost this trade. looking at Micah Parsons, and listen, Pearl, maybe you're right. Maybe Micah Parsons is on the Cowboys and it doesn't make a lick of difference. But to me, that just doesn't take Jerry off the hook on this one. And you handed it what looks like the finishing piece to a rival that's in your conference, which just twists the knife a little bit deeper. Maybe that doesn't matter. But Parsons looks motivated, rejuvenated, although I never really doubted his motivation. He's not one of those guys who loafs it. I just can't help but think that Jerry is going to be part of the story. We're going to get a lot of Packers primetime games, and it's going to continue to be a thing while Micah Parsons looks this good.
But play this out. Say he stays. Like, what difference does it make?
Well, that's on Jerry to also build the rest of the team around a superstar on defense like it looks like the Packers, without even realizing it, did.
Wait. You said that it's on Jerry to build the rest of the team.
He's the GM.
Yeah. Again, that's the problem. It shouldn't be on Jerry. You already lost this battle. When it's on Jerry Jones to build this Super Bowl roster, we have a problem, Maggie. It's called 30 years without getting the NFC title game. That's why.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. You're welcome to weigh in. Andrew Bogusch is here. Now, I know you're the newsman around here, Bogues. And I'm not trying to, impede on your turf here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have an update to a story that you brought us yesterday.
Okay.
Very important.
Is it about rack of bleep 6'9"?
No. It's about a rack of a different kind.
Right,
it's about Brooks Nader.
Oh, all right.
You brought us the story yesterday that she's dating Carlos Alcaraz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Have you seen the update from Page 6? Because
I have.
Brooks Nader is a freaking legend.
I have not. That was my original source of yesterday's story, but I don't know about an update from Page 6.
Is this about the ex?
I know
No.
exactly what this is. This is the plot to a big movie with Zendaya.
Yeah, Brooks Nader, legend walking amongst us, is dating both Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner at the same time. The two guys played in the final.
She's
Pulling out Lou Will.
Man, this lady, she's immortal.
So I remember, from the beginning of the U.S. Open, week 1, the rumors that it was Yannick Sinner because she was on somewhere being coy about a tennis attraction. But then when I saw the Alcaraz story from the sister, I thought we just had the wrong tennis
Guy.
target the
Yeah.
week before. But both of them are involved.
Yeah, no, she apparently, according to the sister who's blabbing all over the place, she was dating. Can you hear the air quotes through the radio? Dating both of them same time. I mean, these guys are being in every single major final, and meanwhile, she's playing both of these dudes.
And who's winning that one? It's
She
also
is.
Alcaraz.
Yeah, well, ask her.
Is Sinner attractive? We know you're an Alcaraz.
He's a
fan.
pro athlete, yeah.
I don't. I
Maggie,
disagree.
that was not a very ringing. That wasn't a ringing endorsement.
I'm sure on his own, yes, but if you're putting him next to Alcaraz,
right.
it's a tough spot.
Okay.
It's like if I was standing next to Brooks Nader, it's a tough place to be. You just want to back away. But the thing about her is
She
that
already is because of your feet.
yeah, no one can get
There's
within
always distance.
You can't get near me. But you got to understand the waters you're swimming in. But this is legendary stuff
Yeah.
from her.
Good for her.
She had a divorce, and now she's pulled every handsome guy on the planet.
Wait, she's divorced and dating. How old is this chick?
That's what I was. That's why I thought it was about the ex because I saw a story from People.com that apparently she started dating old boy only for rent purposes.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that quote
I was
too.
Don't hate, no
I was like,
judgment.
wow.
What's her name again?
Brooks Nader.
I heard a different.
You're not paying her
Swimsuit
rent.
model.
She's
I-
my age.
I heard a whole different take on this. So when you put dating in air quotes, you might not have been able to see that on the radio, meaning that they're
Look it up.
it's more physical.
Yeah.
I heard that this is all just show promo. They have a reality show coming up, and she's a master manipulator. And dating might have been just being seen in public to promote her show. That's what I heard. We're all buying into some. It's called Love Thy Nader, and it's a big reality show that they're pumping millions of dollars into.
Because there's 4 sisters, right?
Yeah. So she's basically just presenting this to get eyeballs for her show.
Okay.
I don't know if she actually had to go to 30 Love, as you're saying.
Well done, Pearl. Here's where I actually believe that they are dating. Have you seen these people? What's
Fair.
standing in the way?
I don't know,
These are
Sinner-
all consenting adults, and they're probably some of the best-looking people walking this earth. I
But
can
Sinner-
believe they're hooking up.
Despite his name, looks like a choir boy. So I
He's
can see.
Italian, though. He's got that je ne
But
sais
he's
quoi
not really
Italian
Italian.
thing.
He's
Doesn't
Let's
Jenna
throw
say
some
off
French
He's got
in there.
red hair.
Guys.
He's somewhere. His family obviously came from somewhere. He's like Swiss Alps Italian. Like, does he look Italian to you? He looks Norwegian.
That's French.
Anywho, Brooks Nader, we salute you. Or I do. Good job, lady.
Interlock your fingers, Brooks. If you
Pretty
want to.
cool. No, we're not talking about that kind of.
Oh,
I think
Yannick.
it's intimacy of a different kind, seems
okay.
like.
I don't know, Brooks. I don't know about Yannick, bro. That's a rough look for
He
Yannick.
had a fairly well-known relationship with another player.
Oh, is that right?
With a woman player, yeah.
It's also funny that the sister's like, yeah, she's been dating everybody from every field and court. And then she was like, not basketball, though. And it was like, both dudes on the tennis court. She's got a type.
How about radio?
But
Her billboard is actually out on Varick
Oh, is it
Varick
really?
Streets. I think that's
Yeah.
as close as you're
Yeah.
getting to Brooks Nader.
if you see this in page 6, I feel like maybe she was sleeping with these guys, but we could be falling for a gigantic publicity stunt.
Well, it's not going to make me watch the show.
Yeah.
So they don't have me either
It's
way.
making Manny's in. We got one person in this room.
At the very least, it's efficient because they're in the same city and probably in the same hotel. So there's not much traveling.
Yeah,
for
you're
her.
not wrong. Yeah. Oh, we got the WTA Open or the ATP Open in Cincinnati. Let's go.
I got to be honest. If you're Carlos Alcaraz, I would say he's number one on the entire power rankings of planet Earth right now. Like, you want Yannick? You want to share a girlfriend with Yannick Sinner? I feel like
I think they probably both found out about this from page
Oh,
6.
yeah. Oh, okay. So you don't think that Alcaraz knew?
No, she's a G, and she moves in silence like lasagna. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, Lil Wayne. Relax over there.
All right.
by the way,
Maggie's on one this morning.
You just said
I'm
you
impressed
said
with
there's
this
a
lady.
billboard in Times Square. Oh my God, you are such a sucker.
Let's get
You
to
have like EJ.
All I
Explain
did
to her
was
how
update
reality
the
TV
story.
works.
Oh, it's a lot of promotion. A
lot of dating
right.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Every bachelor has every bachelorette has a high profile celebrity relationship, which 75% of the time they've never even met.
Listen, I'm no rube. I just think
Oh,
she
you so
actually
are.
pulled this off with these two.
You
guys.
don't think Taylor
That's
Swift
your
and Travis
fantasy.
Kelce like each other, and they're engaged now,
Yeah.
but you're all in on Brooks Nader snagging both of these guys.
No,
Yep.
that's Maggie's fantasy.
And all
dude.
right,
Obviously,
Sinead.
this is wishful thinking.
I'm projecting.
I
Is
can't
that what
believe
you're saying?
you read about a couple on page 6 and you believe that? That
Page
was
6
written by a publicist.
She's yearning for the years of Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer.
I was more of a Sampras person,
Okay.
but that's just a little about me. Let's get to Bogusch.
Wait. Your taste in men is officially off. You're into Pete Sampras. No, even Pete Sampras' wife's not into Pete Sampras.
Oh.
You routed Sampras over Agassi?
And surely
Yeah.
they'll hold hands like pancakes.
Sampras was the most awkward sports star in the history of sports stars.
Talking about looks here, Pearl. I didn't say that I had to have a deep conversation
A
with
lot
the
of
guy.
eyebrows and chest hair, though, with Sampras.
And his hair, he's the most unstylish pro athlete probably ever. I mean,
Big fan of
Alcaraz,
the
I
hamburger
understand.
meat.
I don't start yucking y'all's yums about Anne Hathaway
You
and
always
whatnot.
Yeah, because
Let me
Anne
get
Hathaway's model gorgeous.
Right, we make good choices. There's nothing
Yeah.
to...
You're like, oh.
Just because you guys aren't man enough to admit that Pete Sampras was a good-looking guy is not my problem.
I'm plenty man enough to admit anyone who's attractive, he wouldn't be my first thought from that era.
I think
I'm a
the men in the
woman
room have
now.
a better eye for talent than
Wait,
you do.
he's married to Miss Teen USA?
Sampras?
Was that who Bridget Wilson was?
Yeah,
More importantly,
apparently.
she's from Billy Madison.
Billy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Veronica
more important,
Vaughn.
we talking about the
I
wedding
just
planning?
blame Wikipedia because that's what the first thing that came up. It's not me.
Such a great scene. He's like, Miss Veronica Vaughn.
Hmm.
Hit that before. He's like, no, you haven't. But you can imagine what it would be like.
Also, Bridget Wilson, Mortal Kombat.
That's right.
Sure.
But
All right,
Veronica
folks.
Vaughn still wins.
What do you got?
I got headlines. Sponsored by Prize Picks. Don't miss any of the action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download Prize Picks and use code PRIMETIME. What about Junior? And get a $50 bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Not sure why this was just a 9-point win for the Packers.
Daniels in the shotgun. 57 seconds to go. 3 receivers left. Here's the snap. Jaden Daniels. Daniels being flushed. Hit. Throws it over the left side and complete. Micah Parsons with the pressure.
Wayne Larrivee, Packers Radio. That was Washington's last gasp on Thursday Night Football at Lambeau. The Green Bay D smothering the Commander attack. Just 230 yards, only 51 of that rushing, and 2 fourth-down stops. But the final was just 27-18. Head coach Matt LaFleur.
All in all, I thought we were in control of the football game. for the majority of the game. We just got to. There was a lot of mistakes out there that we have got to clean up, between penalties, some miscues, some misops.
1 missed field goal, 10 penalties, maybe some missed throws from Jordan Love, but the Pack is 2-0 for the first time in 5 seasons, and Micah Parsons is 2 for 2. He shared a sack, had 3 hits, and drew 3 penalties. Now back to the
Commanders.
They have yet to look like last season's 12-win unit, but Jaden Daniels not worried.
There's nothing to dwell about it. It's early in the season. I wouldn't expect everybody in this locker room to hit a panic button. We faced a really good team, and we came up short. So we'll move on to the next game.
Daniels needed 42 throws to produce 200 yards through the air, and his offense might be without Austin Eckler long term. The veteran running back suffered a non-contact Achilles injury last night.
You know what I found out about myself? I thoroughly enjoyed watching the Commanders get their asses kicked.
Why?
Because they just beat you?
I think so. I think because now, I never thought of the Commanders as being the NFC, a team to worry about in the NFC East, and now they are. And to see them kind of get embarrassed like that on national television kind of made my heart happy.
That's funny. I'm an Eagles fan in the NFC East.
Correct.
I feel like the Commanders are like, how can you not like that team? Jaden Daniels.
Very easily. What happened in the years before Josh Harris took over.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the nicest group of, like, Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin. Like,
so you're rooting for so what you're saying is you're rooting for the division rival.
No, I can't enjoy. No, I don't. That's a team I don't think anyone except you enjoys seeing them lose, right? Like, you enjoy seeing the Cowboys lose.
I didn't find out about it until yesterday, so it's a new discovery. You'll find out in about 13 weeks. You'll see it.
You don't think that, like, even when the Eagles kill the Commanders, like, I still like Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
you guys hate me for this, but you think you should hate all rivals. But you can appreciate, like, a really
I can appreciate the play of Jaden Daniels. I just hope he goes 0-16 every single season like you and the Cowboys. 0-17.
Manny.
What?
This is actually social media, Manny. Have you ever followed him? He's brutally mean.
This is Giants fan Manny, I think.
But I thought,
Bogusch I know what he's talking about.
I thought that was all dead. Like, I thought you guys gave up on your football team.
Yeah, that to me is the problem here.
This is the death rattle. This is the last gasp. No,
yeah,
maybe
I mean,
not. You still have Jackson Dart starting to look forward to. You're good. You have some interesting things.
When's that going to happen, Mags?
Well, it should have happened during the first game.
I mean, we got a Bills fan sitting here who's on top of the world. We got a defending champion Eagles fan. It's got to be tough to be a Giants fan in this room.
Go Knicks.
The Seattle Mariners have caught the Astros atop the AL West.
The pitch to Ford. Swung on, popped up. Is this deep enough? To right field. Lugo backs up. He makes the catch. Polanco tagging. Here comes the throw. Polanco steaming home. He slides. He's safe! And the Mariners win! Sir Harry Ford walks it off with a sacrifice fly. And for the second night in a row, it's extra inning magic.
It's also 6 straight wins overall. This one 7-6 in 12 over the Angels. The Astros had lost in the afternoon in Toronto, and that's why these two are tied for that division lead this morning.
Thanks for nothing, Houston.
And Paige Beckers finished her first WNBA season with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Her Wings down the Mercury 97-76. No playoffs for them. Beckers ends up with the 3rd most points, 2nd most assists by a rookie in league history. Guys, back to you.
It's actually a sneaky, fun nickname for Ford. They call him Sir Harry Ford. Harry. Sir Harry Ford, because both of his parents were born in Britain, so he can play for the Great Britain baseball team in the World Baseball Classic.
Bro's from Atlanta, though.
Yeah, but that's a sneaky fun nickname. Bogusch, thank you. 888-710-4ISN. Okay, so is Micah Parsons making Jerry Jones look even worse? One question for you. Also, are the Packers looking like the front-runner Super Bowl contender? We have an update for you from San Francisco. It's Maggie and Perloff.
Did I talk to Michael?
Micah. You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. EJ, can we throw up another poll right now? You can still vote Maggie Perloff, King of the Mountain. Who deserves to continue on as the King of the Mountain as we search for the greatest NFL team of all time? Is it the 1972 Miami Dolphins or the 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers? That's this week's matchup. Whoever wins gets to be top of the mountain, King of the Mountain, and then we have them go up against another team next week. So it's going to go on all season long. You only have a few more minutes to vote. So go to Maggie and Pearl on X.
Yeah, and vote for the 78 Steelers. And that is not voter fraud. That's called campaigning for my team.
Oh, boy. All right. let's get to the 49ers quickly because we got a bit of an update yesterday on what could be a very lengthy injury for Brock Purdy. We thought maybe a week or two, Pearl, with the turf toe. And
we thought he might even play this week.
Or maybe he plays this week, and it's the non-throwing shoulder is the other injury. But now, according to Ian Rappaport and others, this is looking like it could be the next 5 weeks. Is it possible that the 49ers are out of it before Brock Purdy can come back?
I personally don't think so. I have seen other people say that. Their schedule's so easy, and I don't think that changes so much. The problem is a lot's on Mac Jones, but everybody else is hurt too. So I am preemptively putting out there defending my guy Mac Jones. He has no one to throw to, so he's probably going to look bad this week. But he plays New Orleans, who appears to be tanking. So they could trip into a 500 record until Brock Purdy gets back. So when you say out of it, like if you're 500 by week 6, how is that out of it?
Well, are they going to be 500 is a great question. Because the other thing about San Francisco and the way that this season hopefully is not trending for them, but you got the early returns aren't great, is Brock Purdy going to be the only person you lose? So you're at New Orleans. Let's just play out the next 5 weeks. You're at New Orleans, home Arizona, home Jacksonville, at the Rams on a short week, at Tampa Bay. You know, if you win 2 of those games, if you win one of them, I mean, I don't know if they're just going to win one, but this is, yes, it's like an air quotes easy schedule, but there's a couple really good defenses that you have to face. You're getting in this stretch.
Arizona did not look good in week 1, and they're going to San Francisco and Jacksonville. That's a long flight for those Jags.
It's true.
So, I mean, if you can't beat Jacksonville at home, then you're probably not a playoff team.
But then you have to go to Tampa, so then you have to go cross country, and that's a 1:00 game. So evens out.
Those are hard games. Those are playoff teams, the Rams and the Bucs. But then you host Atlanta. That's another long trip. At Houston, we don't know what Houston is. At the Giants might be bad. So we've been talking all year about this easy schedule. It's a fact. Here's the other thing, too. You said the early returns were bad. I assume you're talking about health? Because you could look at that first game and say that was ugly. But the defense, all of a sudden, boom, back. Robert Saleh, making the highest paid defensive coordinator, immediately paid off. They stopped the run in a very, very surprising way against Seattle. They're going to run into New Orleans. It's going to try and do the same thing. Maybe you say, okay, this is going to be a defense here. Can you buy that?
Sure, but, it's funny. Before the Sam Darnold sack fumble at the end of the game, they got into the red zone, and Seattle moved into the red zone with ease on that final drive. Now, credit to San Francisco.
They made one big play.
They came, but Sam Darnold, the JSN. I mean,
that
everyone
was one
in the
big
world
play.
knew that was the only place they could go. Seattle only has one receiver, basically.
I would say it took 60 minutes for them to uncork any play of any significance.
Well, week 1 opener, I mean, all you can do is try to survive generally. And to be fair, the 49ers did. But again, before that sack fumble, which Darnold's own offensive lineman got blocked back into him and helped cause that, I was surprised that Sam Darnold put them in position for a game-winning field goal at least. Easily.
I'll tell you this about the
it couldn't have been a field goal. It had to be a touchdown, 17-13.
I will make a prediction by week 6. They are the number 1 defense in the NFL. And defense, when you say the number 1 defense, that means allowing the least yards. And they only let up 230 to Seattle, which is nothing. I think and listen, it's a bit of a cheat code because you're facing some pretty bad offenses. At least offenses that have not looked good so far. So I think they have a great chance to be a dominant defense. Remember, this core unit was number 1 for a long time. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner leading the way. Like, they could be elite enough to at least keep the team hovering around 500, and that means you're still in it.
888-710-4ISN. All right, quickly, our pal Big Friendly. Friendly, we only got a minute, sir. You want to call me out for something. What's up?
No, Maggie. I deserve more than a minute. So can you please put me back on hold?
No, Friendly, we love you, but you're not a producer on the show. What do you got?
I know, but Maggie, Monday you got to come to work with your face painted. I've waited 279 days. It'll be 281. So I'm calling all the people on the staff to please remind Maggie she needs to be on Monday morning with her face blue and gold.
Oh,
I've been patient.
Big Friendly, I got to do that Monday.
You can't do it on a Monday.
Can I do it on Tuesday?
Can you do it? That has to be a Friday. Nobody face paints early in the week. It's too early.
I've waited 281 days on Monday, Daddy Cool.
Then you can wait 287 days.
85, 87.
Okay. If you, Maggie Malone, if you will do it next Friday, I will wait till next Friday.
You're a gem. You're a peach, Big Friendly. Thank you for being so flexible. All right, I'm painting my face next week. And I do have the Rams necklace. I don't have the jersey, but I have the necklace. I'll see if I can grab a jersey on Amazon this week. Big Friendly, thank you, sir. Have a great weekend, pal. What's the Rams jersey I should get?
Devontae Adams.
No, yeah, you need a random jersey.
Devontae Adams. He got there 5 seconds ago.
I know. That's kind of why. It's got to be like it's got to be a weird jersey.
Andrew Whitworth.
Maybe go old school. Like
That's what I was
Vince Ferragamo. Like old LA
Big
Rams.
Friendly, you think he knows Vince Ferragamo?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a diehard fan.
I don't know. The Rams are kind of a new team in LA, back in LA. Do you think he goes back to the 70s and 80s?
There are some, I don't know. There's lore. I think that's a great face painting.
Todd Gurley.
Blue and yellow would be sweet. Like, that's fun.
It's not good for my skin, but I'll do it because I'm a woman of my word.
Drink water.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Daniels waits for the snap, and here it is. Rush on, blitz on, throws the slant right side, broken up. Keyshawn Nixon with his left hand reached in front and denied the completion to Jalen Lane at the 45-yard line. And there is your dagger.
Thank you to the Packers Radio Network. Final score 27-18. Even that score is closer than how it felt last night, and it was the Packers defense that led the way. Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. The defensive line was up in Jaden Daniels' face the entire night, Pearl.
Yep.
The offensive line for the Washington Commanders could not block. And then the receivers couldn't get any separation for Washington either because the Green Bay secondary was so sticky. It was an all-out great performance from what was already a really good defense. Add in Micah Parsons, and you see this thing just go to another level.
Yeah, there was one play that really spoke to me last night. Not the sack, not the pressures, not the penalties he drew. There was a run play where he was on the opposite side of the field, and he pursued like a missile. Micah Parsons, this is, on a 7-yard gain, and he has a motor. And I saw this in Dallas last year. When he was out, that defense got completely A, boring, B, ineffective. Then he came back and he seemed to rev everybody else up because I think he's like one of those generational players. There's a few in the NFL right now. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, and Micah Parsons. And I think you see everybody upping their game, A, because of all the attention he's getting, but also the energy he brings.
If you are an Eagles fan, you are the reigning NFL champs and obviously the strongest team in the NFC. Are the Packers the biggest threat to the Eagles right now? Is that how you see it?
I think the Eagles are the biggest threat to the Packers right now because I think the Packers are the favorite. I mean, listen, the Eagles tried to trade for Micah too. They know that they lost a lot of pass rush this offseason. I think the Eagles' fearsome defense, the number one defense, I believe, from last year, seems to have lost a lot of guys. I think Green Bay got a lot of guys this offseason. It feels to me like they're the favorite in the NFC.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Do you see it that way? Should the Packers be the favorites in the NFC? Here's my one critique about the Packers, and I like what they're doing in this vertical passing game, and they're always able to take big shots and, constantly try to put pressure on opposing defenses because they have this great defense, right? Like you can try to be airing the ball out. It's kind of a receiver by committee. There's not just one standout star who needs to get fed, on offense outside of Josh Jacobs, the running back. But with Detroit and then this week on a short week against Washington, and I get these are two also good teams, we think, in the NFC. It's like they're dominating the game, but the score is not insurmountable. Like this was actually a one-score game. It was 17-10 in the fourth quarter. It was weird because it never felt like the Commanders were getting close and the yardage differential and all of that. Yet the scoreboard told you a different story. That's the one thing about the Packers. Like you could have put this Commanders team away like in the first half and they couldn't.
But I think that's their style though. I mean, they saw it in Detroit. They get a lead, and then they're just going to just run. I mean, Josh Jacobs has 42 carries in 2 weeks. I mean, he's going to lead the league in attempts at that rate by 50 miles. So I think
they're also averaging like 8 yards a pass.
But they're not. But they don't drop back that much. I think they're going to be a conservative offense. I mean, I think their run balance last night with 31 passes of 30 runs. Most teams are, 60 to 40. To be 50-50 run pass, that says a lot. That says we're going to sit on the lead.
I know, but didn't you see not all these passes are created equal? Like, it was not a dinking and dunking when it comes to the passing game. Like, there is Jordan Love, like, testing guys. They're throwing the ball deep. It felt like they were looking for explosives when they were passing the ball.
But that's all true. But you could see in both games, once they got the lead, their whole offense, early in the game, they're flying all over there. They're trying a lot of things. But they just slowly slow it down. That's definitely the case in Detroit. Jordan Love is my fantasy quarterback, full disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my God, in Detroit, this guy's going to throw 9 touchdowns this game. And then he barely dropped back the rest of the game. It was just Josh Jacobs. Last night, the same thing happened. Basically the same. Most of the explosive plays were in the first half. And then Washington, because of the penalties, controlled the ball a lot. The Green Bay's defense kept letting Washington's drive last longer. So I think that's why another reason, as Matt LaFleur said many times, we were super sloppy last night. We gave Washington way too many chances with penalties.
They had 10 penalties, the Packers did.
Yeah.
That's usually doom, but they didn't have any turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, Washington was also sloppy. Poor Laramie Tunsil. He's gotten plenty of money, but that dude, they should nickname him. Laramie Tunsil should be LS for late start. I mean, early start. Jumps every single time.
I thought both lines were jumping every single time. You got rookie tackles on both teams that were getting kind of abused as well. 888-710-4ISN. The Packers now, the front runner, Super Bowl contender. Do they look better so far than anyone else? Obviously, they've played another game. It's just so funny to me, right? 65 total plays for Washington last night, 63 plays for Green Bay. Right?
That's unbelievable.
They're both running basically the same amount of plays. Total yards for Washington, 230. Packers, 404. Like, it was just not even close on the stat sheet when it comes to yardage, yet they have the same amount of plays.
Yeah, I know. There are a lot of things you have to ask. Is this about Green Bay's defense or is Washington's offense bad? I say right now, to me, I will not judge Washington off this game. Short week 2, really the first in-season Thursday night game, going to that madhouse with a whiteout. You go and play offense against them. They were fired up beyond belief. Everyone's so excited. And I know the crowd doesn't play, but I felt like the entire building was on fire last night. That was a hard spot. And they were obvious. Also, they looked tired as all get out. Like Washington, you could see they were sucking wind early on in that game.
Well, you have a little bit of an older team. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know.
It's called 4 days rest, Maggie. It's Thursday night football. Okay. We've seen consistent garbage on Thursday night for years.
That's true, but the Packers were also on short rest.
At home.
Okay, but the other part, too, about Washington, I felt like not a lot of urgency at the end of the half. Settling for a long field goal when they could have continued to move the ball. They did no tempo, basically, until the end of the game. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit were talking about that. And their kicker ends up missing a 50-plus yarder before the first half and then misses another 50-plus yarder on the other side of halftime. So 2 drives there coming up, just super empty. And then Green Bay goes down and kicks a field goal. It's now 17-3, and the Commanders go 3 and out.
How are you going to run
really
tempo?
Disappointing.
How are you going to run tempo when your quarterback is
peeling himself off the ground?
Peeling himself off the ground. That guy got hit on every single play, and he had about a quarter. By the way, Jaden Daniels, he hung in the pocket as long as he could. He was trying so hard. There's no way, they had 200 total yards. How was he going to have time to throw the ball downfield? There was just absolutely no chance for him to find, say, Terry McLaurin downfield. It was not going to happen.
No, he didn't have any time. I'm sorry to jump you. And then the other part is he couldn't even really run the ball at all either.
They spied him, too.
They were containing him. He had 7 carries for 17 yards.
Yeah.
The longest was an 8-yard scamper. It was not like a signature Jaden Daniels game.
But I think he went against an elite defense. I mean, maybe Washington's not as good as last year. Maybe they are. But I think that was a function of Green Bay's defense. I think last year that defense would have shut him down, too. The other thing, too, the coaching matchup, I saw coming into the game, LaFleur owns Quinn. I didn't even know that. Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, has always had success against Dan Quinn defenses.
Well, the most famous one is, what did Jerry say? The worst loss of his entire tenure owning the Dallas Cowboys was when Matt LaFleur came in with the Packers and beat the Cowboys when Dan Quinn was still the defensive coordinator. Washington as a team had 51 rushing yards last night. As a team.
No, I mean, that's the other thing. You can say what you want about Jaden Daniels. The Austin Eckler, Bill Krosky-Merritt combo. Green Bay was also stifling against the run. I mean, they were flying.
Can I bring up something not football? So this Bill Krosky-Merritt, right? He's become a big name because he had a big preseason, and then the Commanders traded Brian Robinson to the San Francisco 49ers, so he's like clearly the guy. Good story, 7th-round pick. Yeah. But it seems like everyone's fascinated that he wants to be called Bill.
Yeah.
Bill is one of the most common names that we have in the world. Like, if he wanted to be called Shabba Ding Dong, I'd be like, wow, this is quite a story.
Yeah, but his name is Jacory, though.
But he's asking to be called just like it's like, hey, call me Jim.
Well,
like,
that makes no sense. If your name is
Jim.
Fred, why would you say call me Jim?
There are people who do this.
But like, I'm just saying, if he was like,
Nobody
call me
does
Shabuzi, I'd be like, well, this guy's on one. No, call me Bill is like easy.
Name another example of a guy goes to the name Bill. That never happens.
But Bill
Billy
is so
Jackalone.
Bill is so common.
You don't change your name.
It's like Aloysius, you know.
My name is something cool like Jalen. I'm going to change it to
Jim.
To Jim. No, that never happens.
Yeah, you go from Mike to Giancarlo. You don't go from Giancarlo to Mike.
Yeah, right. This stand.
No, but I was gonna say. I mean, I had an ex-friend whose name was Vladimir, and his family and everyone called him Jimmy.
You said ex-friend?
An ex-friend?
I don't want to get into that, but yeah, he was.
Whoa.
Giancarlo.
Well, so that could be, maybe didn't want to be Vlad.
So
he wants to be a little more Americanized.
Well, it's in his household. It's not outside the household. Everyone else called him Vladimir.
But give me an athlete then.
I can't think of an athlete.
Okay, listen.
Giancarlo.
Do we not have a lot of Bills anymore? Like, maybe not. We don't have a lot of Freds, Fred Warner, but like there's some of these, like, we probably have more Jalen's than we have like anything for professional sports. It's such a popular name, but it's Bill.
I mean,
it's not that big of a deal.
One of my other friends' name is Martin, but he goes by Bill or Billy because that's his middle name. But that's more because his other brother is named Martin. He doesn't want the same name as his brother.
Seen that before.
Who needs Brunson?
I'm actually surprised that you guys don't find this odd. The guy's name is Jacory, and he wants to be called Bill because of a cartoon when he was 3 years old. Show me another athlete who's picked a more boring second name. Like, you get more excited with your second name. You don't be like, well, I have a really cool first name. Let's make it something that an accountant would be called in 1965. That does not happen.
It is weird, but the origin makes sense. That's why maybe it's not as weird for me. Because the fact that he's like, oh, I looked like Little Bill. So everyone called me Bill.
From an animated Cosby show, which didn't age well.
Right. Just like, people like Snoop Dogg says, people said look like Snoopy. So my grandma called me Snoop. Also, that's how that people, like, especially black folks, we do that a lot.
Nicknames.
But the other thing, too, is Jacory Krosky-Merritt is one of the oddest, hardest to say names in the history of sports.
Amen.
You ever met a Krosky-Merritt before?
No. I got a harder one, though. It's just like, it's such a mouthful. Isaiah Kiner Falefa.
IKF, baby.
None of those names go together to me.
Yeah. But Jacory Krosky-Merritt's always a weird name. Like, I actually want to be called like Joe Smith or something. Like, you have this great, interesting name.
But to me, it's just not as remarkable as people are making out to be. Anyway, that's just me.
By the way, he was Rookie of the Week. Great week one. And then I thought he would be starting. And then they played Austin Eckler as the primary back, which I did not understand. I feel terrible for Austin Eckler towards Achilles.
Yeah.
But JCM clearly should be their number one back. He got 4 carries last night. That's
4
another
carries
thing.
for 17 yards.
BCM, man. It's BCM.
Yeah, just call the guy
Bill. No. I think they explained this. It's either Bill or Jacory Krosky-Merritt. It's not Bill Krosky-Merritt. Like, he doesn't like to mix the two.
I like that.
All right, now I got a lot of rules here. All right.
But
he
looked good last night too. They just didn't have a chance to do anything because Micah Parsons and Edgerrin Cooper and Lucas Van Ness that was a house on fire they ran into last night.
Yeah, and I don't think the Commanders helped themselves either. 888-710-4ISN. Big 4th and 4. Terry McLaurin's not on the field. Like, they just didn't seem like they were all together last night.
That's great decision making by DC.
Terry McLaurin, when he's on the field, wasn't on the field. Like, what difference does he make? He is completely ineffective. Completely. By the way, I'm sorry, the post-30 wash receiver thing, he's going to be Exhibit A.
He had a nice catch down the sideline. I don't know.
Is it just he's out of shape because he wasn't practicing?
This is where the offseason things hold over, man.
Debo is old and he looks great. Terry McLaurin looks completely ineffective. Like, I would not target him anymore.
Well, let's see
how
long.
Noah Brown is not great either.
Let's see how long Debo can hold up. Like, I worry about that. Zach Ertz and Debo Samuel are a huge part of this offense, and these guys are year 13, year 12. It's a lot. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, are the Packers the biggest threat to the Eagles, and does Jerry Jones look worse and worse the better Micah Parsons plays? You can come watch the show, youtube.com/InfinitySportsNet, twitch.tv/InfinitySportsNetwork. And EJ, do we have an update here on the poll results? We're narrowing in.
Yeah,
3 minutes left.
We're getting down to the wire, and I'm sorry to Perloff. It's not looking great. We're right now at 51% for the Miami Dolphins.
There you go.
8% for the Steelers.
Yep.
So,
72 Dolphins versus 78 Pittsburgh Steelers. Who will be the king of the mountain?
3 minutes left.
Week 2.
Well, I mean, if they can beat the 78 Steelers, we might be looking at another perfect season.
This is going to be interesting. Can the 72 Dolphins run the table, not just in real life, but also in the Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain?
I wonder about voter fatigue. I feel like
as the
weeks go on, people who have been voting for the Dolphins may be like, all right, we've seen enough of these guys. Let's throw, I don't know, the Cowboys or Patriots up there.
I feel like recency bias is going to help a lot, too. If you get a newer team, that might knock them off.
It's going to be Brady.
No. It's going to be 85 Bears.
Or 85 Bears.
I think 85 Bears is definitely going to be a possibility.
I think one of Joe Judge's Giants teams.
I think the 84 Niners should not. Was it 80? Whoa. Well, we were
84 49ers.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Maybe I mumbled. Yeah. But
hello. Good morning.
It's funny too because the Steelers team. One thing, the 72 Dolphins have 1 year of awesomeness. These Steelers
they won
teams
back-to-back Super Bowls.
Well, yeah, but the
70, awesome.
but like a lot of people mix up the 78, the 79 Steelers, and the earlier ones. Like the 72 Dolphins. The Niners are the same way. If you ask me what's the greatest Joe Montana Super Bowl team, I have no idea.
They won a lot of those Super Bowls by a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and what about the Steve Young Super Bowl team? And what about the 90s Cowboys? And what about my Eagles from last year? Are they going to make the list? Find out.
888-710-4ISN. Hell of a cliffhanger there. 888-710-4476. So the voting is about to be closed. 72 Dolphins, 78 Steelers. Coming up, it's probably not a great sign when you need to have a players-only meeting after week 1. We'll see if it'll make a difference. Maggie and Perloff Show. Sorry.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This NASCAR race preview is sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck and Van Equipment. They're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. All right, we turn to Manny Tires. By the way, I'm also a bit of a racing expert. Just watched F1 last weekend. And and I'm curious, is going to be a big NASCAR movie? As our insider, what do you got?
Well, I'll tell you guys that it's the NASCAR Cup Series. The playoffs cruise into Week 3. It's the Bass Pro Shops night race from Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. It's cut down day 2. This contest will conclude the round of 16. As of this moment, on the outside looking in is Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, Alex Bowman, and Josh Berry. Sitting pretty right now, though, it's Joe Gibbs Racing. Both Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe, they have clinched a spot in the next round, the round of 12. Who moves on? Who gets eliminated? It's the final race of the round of 16. It's the Bass Pro Shops night race, 500 laps at Bristol Motor Speedway. Green flag wave, Saturday, 7:30 Eastern.
Nice job, Manny Tires.
My mortal enemy, Joe Gibbs. You know this.
Does he know that?
Yes, he does. I've never told you my quick Joe Gibbs story.
No, go ahead.
I was at a tailgate at Ohio State, and for some reason, he's good friends with, there's a famous Ohio State lineman. He was in a tailgate party, and I said, Mr. Gibbs, I'm a Eagles fan, used to kill us in the playoffs, huge fan. And he goes, I know you. You're on the Dan Patrick Show. Why don't you guys talk about NASCAR more?
Oh, you anchored Joe Gibbs.
That he didn't say anything like "nice to meet you" or "I appreciate the kind words." He's like, "Why don't you talk about NASCAR more?"
He's like,
Look
"Hey,
at Joe
McLovin."
Gibbs' package in these shorts right now.
He's like, "Hey, McLovin, why don't you give us a little more love on the?"
He didn't call me McLovin. He had no idea. Like, he didn't know who I was. But generally, amazing in shorts. Yeah, he is. And by the way, he was like this as a coach. That man is no nonsense. Like, I want him coaching my football team because he doesn't look to have a nice bone in his entire body, unlike Matt LaFleur and Dan Quinn.
Yeah, they were bro hugging it up before the game. Yeah, man.
Joe Gibbs,
intimidating figure.
Those Joe Gibbs Washington teams were really good. I think history forgets him because of the awful Daniel Snyder era. And
he came back and it didn't really do much, but no.
Yeah, because it was under Snyder.
Yeah,
though.
of course. No,
Yeah.
I have not forgotten anything about the Joe Gibbs era. Just one of the many teams to beat my team in a Super Bowl. But
yeah, sorry.
That's pretty awesome. You should have invited him on the show that day. Were you like, come on the show?
No, he wasn't nice. He was really, I'm being dead serious. He was not nice. He is a competitive human being.
Yeah.
Because he's really killed it in the racing game. I mean, I think that's an underrated story that he was one of the great coaches of all time and then became one of the great NASCAR figures of all time.
Am I just misremembering this? Did we ever do a great debate about the best second acts for somebody? Did we? Bogusch is nodding his head. Yes, we did like greatest. It wasn't comebacks. We called it second acts.
You definitely call it second act, and I feel like we didn't mention Joe Gibbs, and somebody called and brought him up.
EJ, you remember this, right?
Yeah, someone definitely called, and I defended them because I was like, Joe Gibbs was better than people remember.
No, we're saying it as a racing, impresario.
Look at Joe Gibbs' package.
Because I think we did like Madden and stuff like people that
Michael Strahan would have been a good one.
Yeah.
That kind of second act. So who'd you pick? Do you remember? I have no idea.
I don't remember, but we have a show sheet for every single show we've ever done, so we'll go find it.
That Eagles long snapper who became a touring magician, John Dorenbos.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The more random, the better.
Yeah, it was people who half the population may not even know that they had like a sports thing.
Oh, like an actor or something like that?
Or whatever. Even like John Madden. I don't know if a lot of people know he was a coach, right?
I think Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan really was
the
an
actor? No, I know, but like I think that was like was part of the conversation. Like because it was like
a
Maggie was
Reynolds
saying,
type of thing.
It was just like that we didn't. People knew him for like the quote unquote like wrong or the secondary reason, not the first act.
Oh,
so I remember Manny going, he was the governor and he was an actor. Like Manny was very confused by Ronald Reagan's history that day.
Reagan was a cheerleader and a broadcaster, not much of an athlete.
Right, but an actor first as well, and then governor and then president. That was all part of that day.
Yeah, he was in the Gipper movie.
Yep, win one for the Gipper.
Yeah, which was called the New Rockney Story.
Meanwhile, Notre Dame, big game this weekend against Texas A&M. Notre Dame had a bye after their first week, so they go on the road, lose to EJ's Miami Hurricanes, but now have to regroup against Texas A&M.
Ooh, this feels really – Texas A&M looks really good.
I was surprised when I saw Marcus Freeman as a 3-0 record against the SEC. They went down to Texas A&M, beat them last year in the opener, but obviously Notre Dame was a super good team. They were in the finals.
Good for Johnny Manziel. Good for Johnny Manziel bringing A&M back.
I don't think it has much to do with him anymore.
Well, it just feels like a completely different A&M team from the last couple of years. So, I mean, you brought up the great point, not to rehash this debate. If Notre Dame goes 2 losses, are they out? And I said that the brand is so strong, it doesn't matter if they just beat up on a bunch of service academies. The committee will put them in. I think it's very possible that happens. I think A&M has a great chance this weekend. Then we'll see. Does the committee really care about strength of schedule? Do they care about brands?
It's going to put them absolutely to the test. But if they win this game, then they're good. It would really depend, I guess, on USC. If USC ends up being a good team and they're still ranked, that would be one more opportunity to impress the committee. If USC falls apart and that is no longer looked at as a good win by the end of the season, then if you're Notre Dame, you go 0-2, I just don't know how you impress the committee. Again, to your point, service academies, some of this ACC schedule, it's just not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, USC's got a strangely easy schedule, too. So that'll be a weird one.
But the craziest part is Notre Dame, I thought, didn't even look bad against Miami.
No,
they lost,
look like
but they didn't look terrible.
They look like Notre Dame. Like, they are going to get in there and punch through, and, like, they're not going to blow out anybody. They're just sort of a reflection of Marcus Freeman. I think they remember the national title game. They did the same thing. Like, they had a huge talent deficit, but they just fight really hard.
Yeah, they're just never out of it. Let's go to the phones. 888-710-4ISN. Does Notre Dame have the most at stake this weekend? Got a lot of interesting matchups. We'll dive more into college in a moment. Ramon's in Indianapolis wants to talk about Micah Parsons last night. All over the field for Green Bay. The defense looks amazing. What's up, Ramon?
Thank you for taking my call. My favorite morning show. You guys are always on the razor's edge. Occam's razor. Loved that when I studied that in college. Anyway,
Razor Ramon.
Yeah, you juxtapose the question about Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
we can see the fruits of it. We can see the fruits. It's all those callers that agree with him from Dallas and all those detractors. They don't really understand great players. You don't judge a great player by his own stats. You judge a great player how it lifts other players, and you can see yesterday, those other defenders, that other team, they are lifted. They were all over the place. We haven't seen Jalen Daniels look that bad since he's came in the league as far as not getting time. You know what I mean? He didn't have any time.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it's just an energy and a boost that's through the whole organization. Shout out to the coach. I love that coach. I wish the Bears could have got him because Jordan Love looks fantastic and Caleb Williams looks crazy. So
wait, Razor Ramon, 1 second. So I guess a Cowboy fan, just to play devil's advocate, would say, well, why couldn't Micah Parsons lift the Cowboys defense to what it looked like against the Packers, what it looks like for the Packers now, right?
Well, Perloff pointed out every game he played in Dallas had the number one defense. And the games he didn't play in, they were worse. So he did lift them up. That's what Perloff pointed out in the stats.
Yeah, their EPA was huge with him.
It's fair. Everyone talks about the run game, though. And that's why we thought that it was weird that the Dallas fans were calling in droves saying, Micah Parsons, good riddance, see you never, because they couldn't stop the run. It's like, well, that's not all Micah Parsons' responsibility.
Well, yeah,
it sure isn't.
But Green Bay's much stouter up the middle than Dallas, so they can help them.
And then Dallas has a problem. Remember, they haven't done anything in 30 years. So I mean, Tony Romo, and they fired the guy that's on NBC. They have the Bill Parcells. He ran out of there. Everybody forgot about that. Jerry Jones ran Bill Parcells out of there. Parcells. So Micah, a great player, lifts. Steph Curry could go at 37 to every team in the NBA, probably except Oklahoma, maybe even Oklahoma City, and lift them to another title. It's just what great players do. I'm not saying he's like Steph Curry, but I'm saying you can see Green Bay's defense has never been listed as a number one defense probably in the last 5 years, but you got to say right now that's the best defense in the league. Thank you.
Razor Ramon, appreciate you, pal.
I love this. You've given callers nicknames. Very clever.
We said Razor's Edge. I mean, it's right there.
Razor's Edge, which is quite different than Occam's razor, by the way, which was an interesting juxtaposition. But Bill Parcells in Dallas, 4 years, torture for Jerry. Every second, apparently, was total torture. To have a bigger ego and a bigger star in the front office than him, I'm amazed that they even lasted that long. And they were pretty good.
Yeah, they were. Although Bill Parcells, I think, was one of those guys, very different personality-wise, but like Jim Harbaugh. Like, it burns bright, but it can burn out because he didn't last long in New England either. The Jets, it's like Miami. He kind of bounced around a little bit after the Giants because he's so good, but I think he's so demanding on everyone.
But obviously, like him and Jerry, like that wasn't going to work. It's amazing that Jerry, someone told me they hired Bill Parcells in 2003 because they needed to win some games to get the new stadium. That was because they were terrible. Remember, that was like the Dave Campo era. They were bad for a long time. They're like, well, I don't want to have a superstar coach in here, but I guess I got to win some games so I can build that big TV. I have checked the timing on that. I don't know if that's absolutely true, but I have heard that rumor before. Maybe the stadium was already being built, but it was way out of character. Because Jerry Jones wants to hire no names because he wants to be the man.
By the way, we did do the great debate, greatest second act, but it was head coaching. So we kept it to sports. Perloff's pick was Phil Jackson with the Lakers. Maggie picked Pete Carroll with the Seahawks / USC. I picked Pat Riley with the Knicks. Pete Bellotti picked Bruce Bochy, surprise, with the Rangers. And then Bogusch picked Dusty Baker with the Astros.
Oh, those are all great choices.
But I remember still a different topic. I remember doing like John Madden as a video game guy, not the Raiders coach.
I think you're an idiot.
I've been trying to find a different second act thing, unless we named it something different.
What?
But this is January 17, 2024. And apparently it came off of the idea that Bill Belichick, we thought was going to be hired in the NFL. It never happened. Earlier in the week, we did a segment, can he replicate his success with the Patriots with another NFL team? And then that inspired the thought that he would be with another NFL team, and then here he is in college.
But I was a baby.
Belichick would have been a good answer. Did anyone do that?
Oh, I guess Belichick from Cleveland to New England.
To New England, sure.
Yeah.
So this is
Belichick was the basis of this.
Yeah,
so
this topic was more like who had a better second stint or second. Well, actually, Pete Carroll, that was not a second.
I just don't like him.
He had already been in the NFL, then college, then back to the NFL. Okay.
I feel like you cheated on that one, Maggie, because you took the Seahawks and USC. We all did one team. You kind of tried to throw everything in there. The whole kitchen sink.
Maggie's always messing with the
By the way, Pete Carroll, 1-0. Maybe you'll get a, fourth act now?
It's possible.
New England.
Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. What's up?
These headlines are sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with our easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. Shaq wanted to be my dad. Dan Quinn's
Commanders
lost last night at Lambeau. It was 28-17 on the scoreboard, plus D lineman Dietrich Wise carted off with a right quad injury, and there's concern that Austin Eckler tore his Achilles.
Tough night, honestly, from an injury standpoint and in-game. We used the weekend to see where we're at from the injuries. I don't want to, make a guess, and so I'll give you those updates on Monday.
It was 27-18 on the scoreboard, by the way. I think I flipped some numbers there. On the field, his team missed 2 long field goals, failed twice on 4th down. They kept it close, but couldn't keep the Packers from starting 2-0 for the 3rd time under Matt LaFleur. The first 2 times, they went on to reach the NFC title game. Jordan Love threw for 292 yards and 2 scores.
It feels great. To start the season off 2-0 against 2 really good teams, 2 good teams in NFC North that were obviously big playoff teams last year. It feels good. So couldn't have, started the season off on a better note. So it's one thing that we just got to keep building on. But it feels great right now.
Now, the bad news for Green Bay is that wideout Jaden Reed is out long-term with a broken collarbone.
That was rough.
Some are calling it the final piece of a championship puzzle. The Knicks with a significant signing yesterday. With more, here's Odyssey NBA insider Peter Schwartz.
NBA Knicks reportedly re-signing guard Landry Shamet to a 1-year deal.
Landry Shamet.
He should have known Landry Shamet's name. Come on.
I kind of like it better as Shamet.
That's not the worst Peter Schwartz.
Oh, no, it's not the worst. It's just another.
It's just the latest.
It's the latest.
Yeah.
The latest
NBA Knicks reportedly re-signing guard Landry Shamet to a 1-year deal.
It's like he...
Forward center Victor Wembanyama.
Apparently,
Sean Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, he apparently was going Brian Shelton one night instead of Ben Shelton during the U.S. Open recently.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So I've become a little obsessed with Peter Schwartz on social media. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
My girth is rather large.
The algorithm's been feeding me. He does some side interview show where he interviewed Edgar Alfonso the other day, and they're like best friends now. And then because it's usually some like third string Islanders lineman, and
third liner.
Yeah, I honestly, if anyone wants to produce an internal 30 for 30 on the occasional fill-in for Andrew Bogusch, I'm in. I find this guy totally fascinating.
Pico de Goyo.
Occasional fill-in is a great name for
the
documentary.
Like I'm seeing this clip of him and Edgar Alfonso.
Edgardo Alfonso.
Didn't do that twice.
Yeah, sorry.
Landry Shamet. Listen over there, Peter Schwartz.
It was just funny because yesterday,
that's why he likes him so much.
I felt like yesterday I was getting a play-by-play of Media Day for the New York Islanders.
No,
Peter.
rookie minicamp.
Rookie minicamp. And I was like, these are just, it's so many quotes. I just don't need that many.
Zachary Richard.
Yeah, I have no idea, but 98% of the stuff that he's talking about, because I'm sorry, I don't know, like, I don't go that deep into the Islanders roster. I just don't understand what he's doing, but he's fascinating to me.
He was a GM of a
Yes, and he was a GM of a football team.
And got to resign, like...
in protest.
Yes, right, like, what's the right word?
Like he walked out.
Yeah.
Because
he... And the league, by the way, never played a game. Never, ever, ever.
I hate that for him, though.
Yeah, that stinks because he went into it with really good intentions. And it just feels
he
like,
really did.
Speaking of like what's going to happen, it just feels like whatever that league was, somebody feels like they're going to jail off this because I hope not, but it seems like someone was defrauded at some point.
Feels like some Fire Fest situation going on.
Like no one ever had any.
Right.
Like
there were never going to be games played given what was going on.
Exactly. Ja Rule was never showing up.
Exactly.
Didn't Peter say that there was some litigation going on, so maybe we should shut up?
He did say that.
Possibly.
Well, it's not our litigation.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think people paid for tickets. I think that's going to be
never got the money back.
Right, exactly.
Yes. I think that's kind of the linchpin of the whole.
I can't wait for the Pablo Torre finds out about this. Steve Ballmer going down first with the Clippers. And then, or we think Pablo Torre doing some more reporting yesterday. We'll get into that. And next, maybe he can set his sights on whatever this defunct football league was that Peter Schwartz seemed to have gotten scammed out of.
I think Peter Schwartz was a really good GM. You think he could have built a champion?
He's definitely going to build in the trenches. Probably too much emphasis on special teams, I would imagine.
His son was his assistant GM. He wasn't finding anybody to play football.
No, I think I agree with Maggie. Blow all the salary cap on the long snapper. His son was a college-level long snapper.
Is
still there.
Where's he play?
Northwest East Connecticut State.
No, he is always on his third school in 2 years though.
Because he was in Wagner, right?
Yeah.
Or some school in Staten Island, no?
CW Post?
He's at Post University, which I believe is in Connecticut, and is a Division II school.
Gotcha.
He was at a different Division II school for last season, then was temporarily in Nassau Community College, and now is in this new
place. This is college these days.
I read the headline. The transfer portal's ruining everything.
Everything.
According to the Instagram, it is Post University. Yes.
I mean, you're watching the game last night. How many of those college players, and we know because Kirk Herbstreit's doing the game, so we get the full college background on every guy. Everyone's gone to 3 schools.
I'll be honest. Anytime now I see a bad snap, I really think, man, because Miami had one week 1 against Notre Dame. I thought, should we have gotten Schwartz's son? I swear on everything. I really thought about that because I was like, it can't. Like Schwartz tells me how many times he practices. I was like, if our guy on the first field goal screws up, why were we calling Schwartz?
And you guys call me a madman.
You've met his dad, and he's the most unathletic person in this building.
Lawn snapping. There's no athleticism in that.
Hey, man, special teams. I be telling y'all.
EJ, I got to be honest. We were talking about the Miami Hurricanes. You're up against something here, which is the story of the USF Bulls.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, this is a good freaking story, man. I was reading a little bit more about the coach.
Oh, yeah, that coach is legit. Alex Golesh.
Golesh?
Yeah.
Did you know that he and his family came over from Russia when he was 4 years old with $500? That's all they had. Spoke no English whatsoever. It's like an American dream story.
Yeah, I was saying last year, I was super impressed with, I know the score was 50-15. Anybody who watched the game knew that they played really tough. And they played Alabama tough last year. And that was a game that was close and going into the fourth quarter. That guy's hardcore. I think that
You're going up against vibes right now.
Yeah, and then every team that plays them leaves different. You start tweeting at Boob69, or you start.
He's worried about the hangover.
Yeah, or you start spitting on people. I'm very concerned about how Miami's going to come out of this game. I'm concerned.
You should be. USF might be the most impressive football team we've seen so far this season.
I will say though, I mean now I'm immersed obviously in Miami Twitter, which. It's funny because every week, whoever the opponent is, they then join Miami Twitter, and it's just the back and forth. Some of the
sounds
worst,
like hellhole.
It's Florida, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, some of the worst things coming out of USF in terms of like trash talk, saying, "Oh, Miami, you guys aren't in Miami." I'm like, your name is South Florida, and you're in Tampa. Come on, guys, get some better trash talk.
Yeah, I will always maintain Tampa gets a bad rap. I love Tampa.
I do too, which is why I'm like, why are you even bringing this up?
Respectfully,
you guys are so sure beating Florida makes them the most impressive team. Did you just say the most impressive team in the country?
Boise State week 1, Florida week 2, and that was in the swamp. I think that was very impressive.
Maggie, you're forgetting my Penn State and Indy Lions. Come on.
Yeah, who you've played like a JV team.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? Now we got Villanova. Watch out.
Yeah, wow.
Watch out for those Wildcats.
What's the spread on that, 100?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how Jalen Brunson performs at quarterback.
Yeah, that's a legit FCS team, Villanova, but it's still an FCS team.
I think Villanova could probably beat Florida. I don't know. When's the last time they had a winning season? I mean, last year, I guess they came back at the end of the year.
DJ Rusher's a Heisman Trophy candidate.
I'm looking at their record.
When was the last
6
time?
7,
2024.
5 7, 8 and 5.
4 months ago.
Yeah, but I mean,
literally the last season they had.
Oh, shut up, Bogusch. Jesus.
Manny's laughing too, and Maggie said
Bogusch,
something.
your ability to find nuance in a discussion is 0.0. That's why.
No, he's a facts guy.
God, I'd rather talk sports with a garbage can than you sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know how to process when you say things like that. So I don't want to talk to you about things either.
It's obviously hyperbole. Like, it's how people talk about sports, whatever.
It was last year. It was funny. That's all I said.
Maggie, they're fighting again.
Wait, I just had to get the spread here on this Penn State Villanova game.
Maggie's on her phone while these two are arguing.
I'm sorry.
It's bickering.
It's DraftKings. The poll is very tough. 47.5. And
wow.
James Franklin will cover that spread for the alums.
I don't think so.
He always runs up the score.
They beat FIU 34-0 last week, and it was 47.5. They were not even close to covering.
Just wait.
But this one's about Philadelphia.
Yeah, this is Philadelphia pride right here.
Fair
All
enough.
right.
Fair
Both
enough.
Philly teams.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Penn State's Philadelphia's college.
Yeah, right around the corner.
All right, let's go to break. 888-710. Meanwhile, that South Florida-Miami spread is pretty big. It's 17.5.
17.5. I just saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Man, they're begging you to take the points.
They are.
I heard your boy Pat Boyle take them this morning.
He did?
He took the points, yeah.
He's a salty because they came to South Florida and got their craniums cracked.
Oh, Notre Dame did, yeah. Man.
Big nut guy.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, a players-only meeting after week 1? Sure.
I have dementia.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining.
Let's go, baby!
Carbuccio wipes the bottom of his sneakers. He's guarded by Lawson. Play in action.
45 seconds remaining.
Screen from Ratliff. Carbuccio driving. Finds Ratliff. Free throw line. Jay. Yes! Clock continues to run. Panthers have one final chance. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy with 5. Step back. Jay. Yes!
30 seconds remaining.
Oh, Josiah Kennedy! Ice cold! Timeout 7.
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back. Maggie and Perloff Show. You're welcome to weigh in about the Packers' big win last night, 27-18, and they do look like a Super Bowl team. That defense is something. But, Pearl, from the top of the heap, maybe to the bottom, did you see yesterday that the Miami Dolphins had to hold a players-only meeting after the first Week 1 loss? And now, listen, it's funny because these players-only meetings just seem like a bunch of eyewash. But
that was a miserable experience.
I'm kind of happy that at least someone's doing something. I mean, I don't believe in a lot of these players-only meetings, and, you know, they're going to play the Patriots this weekend, and that's going to be a pretty big test, actually, to see whether or not everyone has packed it in on the season.
I'm wildly confused. So they're favorites in this game.
Yeah, they are.
They were by far the worst-looking team in Week 1.
Not even close.
Most games were close in Week 1. It was almost record-setting close, and they didn't even show up on the field. I thought the Patriots were going to be favored in this one, even in Miami. I don't think it's going to work.
The players-only meeting?
Yeah, I mean, Tua looked lost. The team didn't look like they're listening to Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel himself made errors. It feels like, I hate to say it, he feels a little checked out himself in a weird way. Maybe it's his style.
Yeah, maybe he feels a little dead man walking. Maybe he is not feeling the support from inside the building. But still, like, to your point, missing challenges and weird stuff like
procedural errors.
Like, even when you know you're about to get fired or you feel like you're about to get fired, you still have to book good stuff on tape for your next job, don't you? And remember last year when Bradley Chubb was like, we said that the vibes were better last year, but we were lying. They're actually better this year. Like, what is going on with this team?
Yeah.
It is just... It's bad. But again, I guess at least they're doing something. Someone had the thought to get the guys together to say, like, what are we about? And do a players-only meeting?
There's so much talent on this team, like at least names. I mean, you obviously have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, but look at their defense. They just resigned Zach Sealer, and Chop Robinson looks great in preseason. Bradley Chubb is Bradley Chubb. Like, they shouldn't be the worst team in the league. They have too many veterans. They're not young either. I mean, they're not up and coming by any means. They put all this money into Tua.
No, I know. Well, that might have been a huge mistake because he can't stay healthy. I don't know. Players-only meetings, you guys into them? After Week 1, I mean...
So I like the players-only meeting. You're generally against it?
Well, there's a couple rules for the players-only meeting that you have to abide by. Number one, you cannot call a players-only meeting if you are playing a good team either the next day or the next week.
This is a football rule.
No, this is all sports.
Because in baseball, Bryce Harper calls a players-only meeting about every 3 weeks. He's a big players-only meeting guy.
Yeah, Mr. Try.
Baseball's such a long season. I don't think you can pick and choose. You just have to pick a random
time. No,
time.
You can't call the players-only meeting and then the next day you're facing Tarek Skubal on the mound. Like, you got to be strategic about when you call the players-only meeting.
A reminder that the Bulls last season called a player-team meeting after a 20-point loss in the first game of the season against the OKC Thunder, who ended up winning the title. Is that okay?
No, the Bulls stunk last year.
I was saying to Manny, like, in many ways, these Dolphins are the NFL Chicago Bulls. In many ways.
Just like in limbo / irrelevant.
Like the history of the past, they had the greatest team of all time, and it seems like they're never going to reach that status again. Like, we keep waiting for them to actually be good.
What's the identity? Get teased with some identity. Of the talent. Yeah.
They're very similar.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, the Bulls had that little run with Derrick Rose. He got hurt.
Just like the Dolphins.
But the Dolphins,
it's been such a long time
since they've made any noise in the playoffs. 1990 is their last real run in any kind of playoff. That's 35 years.
Actually, we do have a little good news for the Dolphins fans. Congratulations. The 1972 Dolphins remain the king of the mountain for the Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain Project. We're trying to find the greatest NFL team of all time. Last week, 72 Dolphins took out the 1998 Minnesota Vikings. This week, they take out your 1978 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Pat McAfee's and all the Yinzers aren't going to be happy about this. I mean, where was Steeler Nation when we needed you? People are just looking at the records, Maggie. Yes, undefeated is better than 2 losses. I understand the math.
What the hell is that?
We'll see if the Miami Dolphins, the 72 Dolphins, can run the table in the Maggie and Perloff King of the Mountain.
Let a naysayer know.
All right, Miami Dolphins players only meeting. Also, could Tyreek Hill be on the trading block? We'll get to that. Can you trade for a guy when he's caught up in all this off the field stuff?
And on the sideline stuff too. Looks like he has a bad attitude right now.
Coming up, we will get you set for what will be a huge week in the NFL.
My dog.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Maggie Gray's husband's got a special touch when it comes to foot rubs. He does so much, her feet are huge. They're hard to beat, but he massages them from heel to street. Oh, Maggie's got giant feet. Her husband's rubs, oh, so sweet. But where's Pete? Yeah, where's Pete the Lottie? He's skipping work and it's getting spotty.
Oh, yo. L-O. Man, he's got a whip full bass swinging with flair. Behind the glass, he's waving it in the air. Now that's bright yellow. Could you?
Amy Lawrence in her power. But wait, hold up. No seat in sight. Her chair is gone this quiet night. Odyssey's finest. Infinity's pride. Now Amy's pacing. No place to slide. She scans the room, but it's just air. The burning question. Who took my chair? Ooh, who stole Amy's chair? Was it Zach Jones with his innocent stare? Or Ryan Hickey with his towering hair? It's not Pete Bellotti, he's never there. Somebody fess up, who stole Amy's chair? Zach says, hey, I didn't steal. I never mess with Amy's wheels. Ryan's hair is high and proud, but he swears he's innocent, yelling out loud, I got no motive, I'm just tall. His hair almost scrapes the studio wall. But Amy's still standing, no time for lies. Someone's gonna pay, no more alibis. No stole Amy's chair. Was it Zach Gell with his innocent stare? Or Ryan Hickey with his towering hair? It's not Pete Bellotti, he's never there. Somebody fess up, who stole Amy's chair? The chair is gone, Amy's on fire. Infinity Sports has one desire: return the throne before the show, or Amy's wrath will surely blow. Who stole Amy's chair? Zach and Ryan, do you even care? Is it hidden under Hickey's hair? Or maybe Gub's got it, he swears, I swear. It's not Pete Bellotti, he's still not there. Somebody chair on the go, rolling around on some late night show. Called Infinity Odyssey 2. Amy's coming, and she's looking for you.
.45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
The Packers are first and goal, 5-yard line of Washington off a 14-yard scramble by quarterback Jordan Love. Love takes, looks, throws slant right side, touchdown Romeo Doubs! Got the slant on Mike Sainristil, the second-year cornerback, and the Packers on the board first, leading 6-0.
Thank you to the Packers Radio Network. Packers would go on to win 27-18, Perloff. And while we played you that highlight of the offense, the story for the Packers really was the defense last night, in my opinion. Micah Parsons proves to be a massive finishing piece, it looks like, for this team. Jaden Daniels had no time, nowhere to go with the ball. It was a dominant performance, even if the score doesn't really indicate that.
Yeah, I came out of that game, I was wondering, was the camera just focusing on Micah Parsons, and were we just talking about Micah Parsons so much? Was that why he seemed so dominant? But it seemed to me like every time Jaden Daniels dropped back, Micah Parsons' impact was felt almost every single time. That was crazy impressive to me. I'm totally jumping the gun on this team. Like, that looks like a Super Bowl formula because their offense is also good. I think right now, as good as the offense is, the defense is ahead of the offense. Like, the offense is really, really good. Jordan Love looks like a star quarterback. Josh Jacobs is a great running back. But I say right now the strength of that team is the defense.
I'm going to 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I think the defense I think the offense is good. I don't think they're great yet. Now, they have room to grow. This is a wide receiver room that unfortunately lost Jaden Reed last night to a broken collarbone. He's going on IR, but he'll be back for a playoff run, no doubt. It's not a star-laden receiver core, and their tight end, Tucker Kraft, had more receiving yards last night than any Green Bay tight end had in a decade. But it's a good offense. I don't think it's great. The defense is great. The reason why these scores have been closer than what the games look like, to me, feels like it's actually on the offense more than the defense. You know, the offense, there are times, and there were moments even in last night's game. Now I'm nitpicking after a win on Green Bay, but there were times when they really could have put some distance between themselves and the Commanders offensively, and they just, for some reason, couldn't do it. It felt weird this was a one-score game in the fourth quarter because the defense was lights out.
Well, I think Matt LaFleur just starts running the ball like crazy once he has a lead. I mean, that same thing, didn't it? Week 1 against Detroit, they won 27-13.
Yep.
Did that feel like a 40-7 game? That was a blowout that somehow ended up close. They've scored 27 points both games, ironically. I do wonder, I actually had this thought. A Super Bowl winning team tends to blow out other teams. There's a lot of statistical data behind that. And these have not been blowouts. Is that an indictment of this offense? I just think Matt LaFleur is pretty conservative. I mean, it's funny because he's a guy who came up through the fancy McVay-Shanahan tree, but I think he likes to hand the ball off 30 times last night. That's a lot in an NFL game. I mean, they might be the heaviest rushing team in the league by the time it's all done.
See, I thought the third quarter is probably where they could have put some distance against themselves, between themselves and the Commanders, but the offense couldn't really do it. So Washington misses a field goal before halftime. So you go into halftime and it's only 14-3, even though it felt a lot bigger than that. Then Washington, out of the half, goes on a 7-play drive where they missed yet another field goal.
Yeah.
Green Bay counters with a field goal of their own. Washington goes 3 and out, but then Green Bay went 3 and out. When you're 17-3 and you're getting the ball back with, 5 minutes left to go in the quarter, the fact that you went 3 and out there, I thought was a little. Again, I'm nitpicking here after a win, but those are the moments where you wonder, how did you find yourselves weirdly in this dogfight of a game in the fourth quarter when you had no business being there?
Killing clock. You're running the ball.
Yeah, but if it's a 1-yard run, and then you're an incompletion on 3rd and 8, that is not a way to kill the clock.
That's how NFL coaches are wired to do this. Like, Washington knows they're going to run in that situation. So, by the way, Washington had a guy, Javon Kinlaw, was destroying the run. Like, Washington's defense might be pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even know. I don't know why we didn't even talk about it, that Javon Kinlaw landed in Washington. They actually are probably pretty good against the run. Like, normally, your offensive line would start to wear on them, and they would break some of those runs. They just couldn't do it last night. But I think Matt LaFleur is just fine with that because he did it in week 1, and, hey, they're 2-0.
Are the Packers the team to beat in the NFC? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. And then I know this is a little painful here for Cowboys fans, but it's like a Micah party. It's like a Micah Parsons party in Green Bay. And there were a lot of Cowboy fans, who called this show after the Parsons trade and said, good riddance, get him out. Can't stop the run with him, can't stop it without him. He's not going to help us. But I can't imagine this feels good, where he goes to one of your rivals and has looked as good as he has in just 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's this year's Saquon Barkley, right? Saquon Barkley left the Giants. The Eagles go to the Super Bowl. Micah might be doing the same thing. But I'll go back to Saquon Barkley wasn't helping the Giants last year. And I don't know if Micah Parsons was the difference between a Super Bowl and a non-Super Bowl for the Cowboys. So even if they just run the table, Maggie, I don't care if they go 20-0 and win the Super Bowl. That doesn't not by itself mean trading him was the wrong idea.
Doesn't look great. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I mean, he's going to be. Is he already the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year?
I feel like he's the only person in the entire discussion.
Well, it's only been 2 weeks, but still.
I know.
I was going to play 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously. But,
it hasn't even been 2 weeks. You're right. It's been.
And he played 29 snaps the first game. It's not even like he was in a full workload there.
I mean, Myles Garrett had a pretty fun start, too.
Yeah, but they're going to win 4 games this year, the Browns.
Yeah, I don't know. But Myles Garrett has won it once already. I think you could probably. By the way, you say they're going to win 4 games. They should be 1-0. So I don't know. Don't count out Myles Garrett. If he actually plays like he did in week 1, I don't care if they go 0-18. He was unbelievable.
Actually, this is going to be Green Bay's next opponent. They go to Cleveland, which is going to be interesting. So a little Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett battle, which is pretty cool. 888-710-4ISN. Is Micah Parsons' success with the Packers a reflection on Jerry at all? You saw some fans had put up a sign, "Thank you, Jerry," outside of Lambeau Field.
They were chanting it after the game, post game on Thursday night on the coverage of Thursday Night Football.
Wow, you hung around for the post game?
No, I just saw it on Twitter.
Okay, it's like, man, you got to go to bed, man.
No, I definitely did.
Not to sound like your mom or something, but get some sleep.
No, your boy was asleep.
Yeah, for the love of all things holy. Let's get to this weekend's NFL games. Okay. How we're going to do this, on Mondays we do the NFL in 60 where we recap every NFL game in a minute. Today we're going to preview every NFL Week 2 game in a minute. EJ will set us up. We'll knock it down. Go ahead, EJ.
All right, let's get it started here with Bills going to MetLife against the New York Jets. Maggie EJ Bowl.
Yeah, I know we should put something on this, EJ, but this is my concern as a Bills fan. People are asking me trap game. I'm like, it's not a trap game necessarily with a big letdown maybe after their comeback win over the Baltimore Ravens. It's just the Jets also run the ball extremely well. The Jets offensive line looked really good against that Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They were running the ball at will. So that's what I'm concerned about, Pearl, that, possessing the ball, and the Bills were getting gashed by the run. So there's a legit concern here.
As I told you guys, I missed a chunk of that game on Sunday. I went back and I saw it again. It was on NFL Network. The Jets have a problem, and EJ told me about it. Their cornerback, Brandon Stevens, he led the league in targets, being targeted last week. And I feel like Josh Allen is going to – it doesn't matter where they try and hide that guy. Josh Allen is going to pick on him.
Yeah. Why'd they give him $30 million off in the offseason?
Oh, you're asking me, Maggie. I wish I knew.
What's next?
All right, let's go to Cincinnati, where the 1-0 Jaguars will face the Bengals.
Did you know the Bengals had 7 yards in the second half last week against Cleveland? This is something really strange. You've talked about it all week. That was one of the strangest offensive performances. They could not protect Joe Burrow. We know about the Bengals' defense being the problem. The defense looked fine. I mean, it was against a bad Cleveland team. So I'm curious, can the Jags get a pass rush going here and torture Joe Burrow?
I got my eye on what's going on with Travis Hunter. They said they're going to play him more defensive snaps. Well, good luck with Jamar Chase. Like, is he going to actually be matched up against any of the great?
Guy.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way they match him up on the outside with either of those guys, Higgins or Chase.
Any rookie, even one as highly touted as Travis Hunter, that'd be an impossible assignment.
It's Manny's Cowboys versus Manny's Giants. Big Blue takes on America's team in Dallas.
Let's just start Dart. I don't know why Brian Daboll is doing this thing. Why is he waiting so long? I guess maybe he's not seeing enough from Dart behind the scenes. Manny's Cowboys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a stroke on the air.
How dare you, honestly.
But I think the Cowboys are going to win this one easily. They've kind of had the Giants number for a while.
How dare you.
2 streaks that I love. 13 straight for Dak Prescott over the Giants, which is amazing. And the one that I'm really curious about, I think I have this right, they haven't started out 0-2 since 2010.
The Giants?
The Cowboys.
Oh, I was about to say, that's not possible.
These streaks don't look good for the Giants. If Russell Wilson was able to snap both those, I'd be shocked.
We got a battle of some 0-1 teams in the NFC North. Chicago goes to Detroit to face on the Lions.
Oh, my God. This one is huge for both teams because these are the two bad narratives coming out of week one. Will Caleb Williams continue to struggle? But for me, this is the get-right game for Detroit. I think, and I said this all show, Washington and Detroit ran into a buzzsaw in that Packers defense. And I think all the panic about losing their offensive coordinator and another big offensive coach was overstated because Green Bay, what they did to Detroit last week, I think Detroit gets its offense fixed here, Maggie.
Do you know what the spread is on this game? I was shocked when I saw it.
So what is it?
6.
6? Wait, you think it'd be bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Why?
I thought people are still high on the Chicago Bears. I mean, it did not look good, obviously, outside of the first 10 passes that Caleb completed. I was a little surprised that this is such a big spread. And you know what's going to happen? This snowball might start rolling here for the Chicago Bears in a bad way, where if they lose badly to the Lions, and then are you talking about the marriage between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, and how is this going to fit? And I don't love this for the Bears.
What did the Bears win total? Like 7.5? I don't think there was.
They were a sexy playoff team.
No, not really. Did you pick them? I didn't know.
No, I can't.
I might have too. Okay.
All right, let's go to Tennessee, where Cam Wolverine making his debut in front of the Titans faithful. Titans host the Rams on Sunday.
There is nobody that needs to have a cleaner game than Brian Callahan. He's coming off of a week where the Titans coach did not know one of the most, I wouldn't say obvious rules, but this was not like one deep in the rule book. We all know that, another body part equals 2 feet. Elbow equals 2 feet. One butt cheek equals 2 feet. Everyone knows this, and somehow Brian Callahan did not. They have got to play a clean game here. I think this is a gettable game for Tennessee. The Rams' defense is fantastic, but the Titans left a lot on the field. They could have beaten the Broncos last week, Pearl. They were in position and just could not get out of their own way.
This is why coaches don't like press conferences, because you pick apart everything they say. Like Brian Callahan's probably could be like, oh man, I should go Andy Reid and just say nothing at all. But I don't know why you're high on the Titans. They can't catch the football. Their receivers are awful.
Their defense is good though. Better than I thought.
Yeah. You've seen one game of this defense against a Broncos team that didn't. First of all, their offense is inconsistent already. Like, what did the Broncos offense do in the playoffs last year? So I think you're overestimating this. I feel pretty good about the Rams.
Watch our Patriots. The Dolphins have had a players-only meeting. The Dolphins will be hosting the Patriots in South Florida on Sunday.
Okay. How is Miami favored in any game after that debacle in Indianapolis last week? The fact I saw it, by the way, it's listed at 1.5 on ESPN Bet. I saw it just at 2.5 on DraftKings now. It's moving towards the Dolphins. I understand the talent, but I'm having trouble making my eyes match what I saw last week and projecting that forward. I know New England didn't look good at all either, but come on, Miami's given up.
It's possible that there are 2 coaches in the state of Florida that may be coaching their last game this weekend if things go badly. Mike McDaniel and Billy Napier. It's possible. Mike McDaniel, if they lose, I think he's out.
Pretty early to fire coach. I don't know.
Sometimes you want to do it early when you realize, like, all right, maybe we could salvage the season if we just had a different voice.
Week 2?
I thought the Patriots also, they just did not look how I thought it was going to look week 1. I'm curious to see what happens. It's not good for these Northeast teams to go down to South Florida early in the season. It's so hot. They get so drained. I think that's why the Patriots are the underdogs.
Yeah, good point.
Who's next, EJ?
Return of the Mac. Mac Jones heads to New Orleans. It's the 49ers taking on the Saints.
This is the Perloff Bowl. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the ultimate system quarterback experiment. Unfortunately, I don't even think it's a real system quarterback argument because the debate is, can Kyle Shanahan make anybody good? Could he make Mac Jones, who struggled, who's actually had moments in his career? The problem is he doesn't know when to throw to because everybody else is hurt in San Francisco. I mean, what are you supposed to do here? Ricky Pearsall, I guess, is healthy for now. I feel like everybody, and McCaffrey had 31 touches last week. I feel like the weapons for Mac Jones are being held together by glue. I feel like this whole thing could fall apart offensively. I trust their defense.
Yeah, I could just feel like this could happen with San Francisco. Let's say you lose this game somehow. You might lose this game. A little panic sets in, and then is Brock Purdy trying to get back too quickly, and does that lead to more injuries? Like, I feel like there's sneaky a lot on this game. You're right, more for the offense than the defense.
The home debut for Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. The Steelers will be hosting the Seahawks flying across country.
It's going to be an interesting game. The Steelers were able to move the ball well against the Jets defense. They are not going to have that same, we don't think, enjoy that same kind of luxury against Seattle, Pearl. Seattle's defense is really good. What do they always say? Defense is travel. Do we see like an Aaron Rodgers 4-touchdown game? I don't think so. I think this is going to end up being a 1-score game late, and then I would trust Aaron Rodgers a lot more than Sam Darnold in that spot. But I think it's going to be a tight game.
So we talked about the Jets, Brandon Stevens, struggling week 1. The Seahawks had, one person cost them this game. It was Reek Woolen was a disaster. Mike McDonald wouldn't commit whether he's going to keep him on the team or not. Like, it got that bad already after week 1. I expect Aaron Rodgers, they're going to test him from the moment the game starts. Seattle, there was a lot of hype around Seattle. Like, a lot of analytics experts are like, this could be the best defense in the league. If they go 0-2, that is really problematic for them. It's not even about Darnold. It's about that run game was a disaster against San Francisco. They just got nothing going at all. Pittsburgh can't stop the run. So for me, there's a lot of pressure on Seattle to actually do what they set out to do this year, which is be a run defense team.
Joe Flacco returns to Baltimore for the first time since being jettisoned from the Ravens. Browns travel to Baltimore to face those Baltimore Ravens.
So Joe Flacco was good last week. He really was. He had the 3rd highest PFF rating on the entire offense. He had 2 picks that were completely on the receivers. He looks like a very capable NFL quarterback. I know that sounds weird, but Joe Flacco is not the problem.
Well, that's fine, but Baltimore is going to destroy that. They have to. I mean, after what happened on Sunday night, where you let that 15-point lead slip away in the last 4 minutes, Baltimore has a lot of pride. They have to get some things fixed up on defense here. I think this 11.5-point spread, it's really big for an NFL game, but I think that the Ravens have to send a message here, no?
Yeah, but the Ravens were awesome last year. Didn't the Browns beat them? I think early in the season.
With what, Deshaun Watson?
I think it was a Jameis game. I have to double check that. I can't remember.
No, Jameis was later. It was snowing when Jameis came in.
Maybe it was later in the season. I feel like I know Jameis beat the Steelers. Did he beat somebody beat the Ravens? Maybe
By the
it was
way,
Deshaun.
The Browns are calling out Derrick Henry. Grant Delpit said he's not that hard to tackle. Derrick Henry ran for 200 yards and 3 scores against them last year. Dude, what? You are picking the wrong fight.
Daniel Jones coming off a career game in week 1, hosts the Colts as they face, plays for the Colts. He's hosting the Broncos, who travel to Indianapolis this week.
And thus ends the Daniel Jones experiment. The Indiana Jones, this is going to look a lot different. I think that it was all a mirage and fool's gold week 1. Daniel Jones was going up against a Miami Dolphins team that was not trying. They just did not show up in that game. It looked like this is going to be a wake-up call.
The thing about Shane Steichen is he always wins games even when the quarterback doesn't play well. So you don't need Daniel Jones to do what he did last week. Like Indianapolis can run the ball too. I think that's where I watch Jonathan Taylor in this one because you're right. Denver's pass rush, once it gets going downhill, we saw last night with Micah Parsons, Denver's pass rush is like that. So I think if Indy can run the ball, they can stay in the game. Otherwise, I like the Broncos too.
Home debut for the Cardinals this season. They face the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, my God. We haven't talked about the pressure. It sort of came and went because of the rain delay last week. Bryce Young looked awful.
Yep.
And we had so much excitement about him coming into this year after the second half of last season. That had to be incredibly deflating for the Panthers fans. And, I don't know if I feel like right now they feel like they did 2 years ago. This is a W on your schedule when you have the Panthers coming to town.
Yeah, I thought about it with the survivor pool and the survivor picks. Is this one of those years where you're just kind of going against, you're picking all of the Panthers' opponents? Not that they're going to go 0-17, but this also for the Cardinals is a great spot for them. Great spot to go up 2-0. If they can win here, they're going to hold their own in the NFC West, at least for now. You got San Francisco's wounded. Seattle, we're not sure. They're traveling cross country. Rams are on the road. Be a good, nice little spot here for Arizona.
Cardinals always start out with a house on fire. They're always 7-3, and then they blow it. So even if they do go 2-0 here, because they did not look great last week against New Orleans.
America's game of the week in a Super Bowl rematch. The Kansas City Chiefs host the Philadelphia Eagles, defending champs.
As an Eagles fan, I'm looking at this as more of an exhibition game, a preseason game. We got some things to work out. Kansas City is going to be a desperate house on fire. Eagles playing with house money. Honestly, that sounds so strange, but all the pressure's on KC. They cannot fall to 0-2 because they'll already be 2 games behind in the AFC West because they dropped that game to the Chargers. They have the Ravens coming up in week 4. And Rashee Rice is out till week 6. Xavier Worthy is playing, but looks like he's all messed up in his shoulder. I think there's a lot of pressure on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
I think that the Chiefs is going to be the big week 1 overreaction that everyone had, the fall from grace of the Chiefs. I imagine Andy Reid, they're going to regroup. They're going to pick themselves up. The Chargers, that was their Super Bowl. It was this weird game in Brazil. I don't think you can take a lot from that. So I'm expecting the Chiefs in a big bounce back spot. And EJ, why don't we do the Monday night games? We'll do those on Monday.
Yeah, and we have Sunday night football to close here.
Last one.
So we got last one here. Where would you rather be? Apparently for J.J. McCarthy, this week's going to be in Minnesota because they'll be hosting the Falcons.
J.J. McCarthy got a lot of hype coming off of last week's game. He really didn't do much.
He was terrible through 3 quarters, but he was awesome in the 4th.
So it's funny. There's some former players actually who are wondering, hey, what's with all the J.J. McCarthy hype? He's got a lot to prove here. I can't believe the Falcons didn't win that week 1 game. The Falcons are always the same team, Maggie. A lot of talented players. We love Penix. We love don't cut that, Manny. We love Bijan Robinson, but they seem to find a way to lose.
Curious if Michael Penix can have any more success against Brian Flores than any of these other young quarterbacks because he puts dudes in a blender. And Penix is the starter now, but didn't take over till late in the season. So still getting his sea legs under him, obviously. And Flores can just be very disruptive on those dudes.
Can I go back to one game, by the way?
Of course.
The Browns played Baltimore in Week 8. They were 1-6 coming into the game, and Jameis torched them for a 29-24 win. The Browns have these sneaky AFC North wins. And I know we're all doing a survivor pool, and a lot of people are picking Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you do not ever know what a Joe Flacco Browns team is going to do.
Wait, but wasn't that game in Cleveland?
That game was in Cleveland, yeah.
Okay, well, this one's in Baltimore. It's going to be
Baltimore drops early season games. They always do it. It's bizarre.
You're right.
It'd be
the worst loss of the weekend by far. I mean, they're the biggest spread.
No, I know. Close. I'm just saying to think that this is going to automatically be one of those Baltimore early season blowouts. Remember, they would kill people early in the year, but then they'd lose a game they shouldn't. I'm just saying that don't be that confident in your survivor pick, Maggie, and mine, by the way, too.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. All right, is Jerry Jones ever going to live down the Micah Parsons trade after what we saw last night on Thursday Night Football? He was everywhere. Packers win 27-18. Coming up at the top of the hour, Nick Kostos will join us from You Better You Bet. You want to win some money? Stick around.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Yo, there's a man you should know. Kevin Lamelli puts on quite a show. 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups with your squats in a row. A workout machine, he's got that morning glow. Kevin Lamelli, the breakfast king. Pancakes that time, hear the syrup sing. Sometimes it's oatmeal, he's keeping it clean. But every single morning he's living the dream. He tunes into Maggie and Perloff on YouTube each day. Comments rolling in, got
AJ's at the bar with a cold cheap beer. Says Trae Young's no big deal, don't bring him here. But the Knicks lost again and it's starting to show as he punches the jukebox playing Old Town Road. I'm over Trae, he shouts as he tips his hat, but his phone's buzzing with Hawks game stats. Pickups parked outside, girls waiting to ride, but EJ's ranting about Trae instead of his bride. EJ don't care about Trae Young, no way, but he's crying in his beer when the Hawks outplay. Just a small town punk with a lucky streak, but Trae's living rent free every Knicks lost week. AJ's got a
3 minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie, there was an off-air production meeting with me and Andrew Bogusch.
What'd you guys decide?
Well, we've been bickering a lot. We were thinking about, do you remember on ESPN, John Clayton and Sean Salisbury used to just openly fight?
Yeah.
That we lean into
great.
it. Because basically the two Andrews, we're now the old men and the Muppets in the corner, but we snipe at each other. So instead of like resolving our obvious conflicts, that we just fight every break. How do you, somebody who's been in this industry, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm all here for it, especially because I get a front row view. What's funny about it is you guys just fundamentally see sports in two very different ways. So it's extremely genuine, and your approaches are just very different.
We should get them in a boxing ring. Do you think legal will give that okay?
That's the other thing. One of the many things Andrew and I share is we have no interest in doing anything like that. I can speak for...
Well...
Is Rich Ackerman around?
Easy.
Mike Tyson was just in our building. I could have asked him for a tip or two before.
That's so funny, Bogues. You don't strike me as a fighter.
You've changed things.
By the way, I don't know if Bogues this was going to be in your match. I know our pal Zach Gelb is out in Las Vegas right now for the big Canelo Alvarez-Terrence Crawford fight. Raise a hands who's ordering that thing.
Well, we have to order it. It's on Netflix.
Oh, right. It's on Netflix. What am I talking about? This is going to break all types of records, I bet.
I can't wait.
Fake records.
Maybe, but they're still going to tout a really big number.
Vamos, Canelo, vamos, vamos, vamos.
Oh, no. This is Crawford's household here.
Man, it's a
I'm
good
Mexican, bro.
This is actually a good fight. This is really good fight. The story writes itself. This is, boxing. The only thing that really gets our attention these days is Mike Tyson fighting a Paul brother, or now he's going to fight Mayweather, or these celebrity boxing stunts. This is an actual real fight, Pearl, that is between two awesome boxers, one going up 2 weight classes, so that's always interesting.
All right, so I'll be that guy because I've gained some weight recently. If we're going to, bring that fight into our fight here, I was going to ask who should be Canelo, who should be Crawford between me and Perloff. Whoever has gained weight recently, I'll take that guy.
Whoever has to go up in weight class, Crawford? Okay.
Because I might outweigh Perloff at this point, so.
You've gained weight?
Yeah.
Has anyone noticed this?
I have. That's all that matters.
Has your wife noticed?
I'm looking at you now. You look exactly the same.
Yeah, you look the same, Bogues.
Exactly the same.
No, I mean, I've been
Where is
gaining
this
weight. It's all
Is it
around
in
my
the hips?
midsection. Yeah. What do they call that? A tire?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Manny, you just asked, did your wife say anything to you?
Yeah. Did your wife notice? Has your wife noticed? Has she said anything?
You can't do that as a significant other.
No.
That's a must-lie situation.
No, when I
Wanna bet?
see myself and get mad, and she goes, "No, it's okay." I'm like, "You have to say that."
Why do you think I've lost 30 pounds over the last year?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like this is marriage. You are contractually obligated by whatever state certified your union to lie to the other person about how they look.
Oh, so that's
No, I thought it was one way.
It's a must-lie situation.
I thought you only lie to the woman. What kind of man cares if you call him fat?
Well, I'm just saying, if Bogusch asked his wife, asked Katie, do I look fat?
Yes.
Why would she say yes?
Because men, I don't know, women don't do that to men. Men do that to women, right?
Women can be shallow, though.
But you don't. But it's the same. I think it's the same rules apply either way. You guys would not tell your wives and girlfriends, "Yes, you look fat."
Absolutely not. No.
Million years.
Not in a million years.
Right,
Why
no.
would I say that to my husband? I'll tell him you look great. I'll tell him you look awesome. I'm not going to be like, the only thing I'll say to my husband is like, "Hey, I think you need a haircut." That's it. It's the only comment I would ever make.
But I also feel like it's far more common for a woman to go, "Oh, I look terrible," hoping that we say something nice. Like, I don't think a lot of men are standing in a mirror going,
fishing for compliments.
Right. Or even legitimately having like concerns with the way they look.
Well, you think
There's
about
less chances for you to say, "Yeah, Tubby, like have some salad."
You think about the
but-
classic sitcom. The wife is always making fun of the husband's appearance. That's
Yeah,
like
but
a
that's not
old
real
trope.
life.
How so?
Does Sarah tell you that? Does she comment on your appearance?
She's never said anything nice. Like, she's not like, wow, Yeah, your pecs are looking shredded. No, like she would never say something like that. Not in a million years would she compliment my appearance.
Really?
She'll say
Not
an outfit
ever?
looks nice, but she's not going to talk about my body. No, that'd be weird.
Well, here's the other thing, though.
Yeah.
If you know the person is really spending a lot of time and effort, like you've looked exactly the same since the day I met you over a decade ago.
No, Sarah would never comment. That,
But like, say you lost 30 pounds or
nope,
something. Okay.
she would not.
How is he going to lose 30 pounds?
Well,
He's
I'm
already
just- what if?
120.
For instance.
Respectfully.
But I don't know. I just feel like it's a one-way street where
definitely.
famously you lie to women about how they look.
Yeah,
But they're not
and
even
by the
lying.
way, men, keep that up.
But men don't even know. We're idiots. That's the other thing.
I think there is
Dumb as rocks.
one nuance though, is that if there is something that I should have noticed on Andrea that I didn't, and I let her go out looking crazy, she will blame me.
Right.
And I could have said,
How
well,
could you have told me that I have something on the back of my pants?
yeah, or like this shirt is like whatever, like or like
wrinkly.
Yeah, like I'd be like,
Right.
I'm not going to comment on your appearance in a negative way.
But if she came home with a different hair color and was like, "What do you think of it?" If you were like,
It happened once. Well, no, not. I didn't go. And no, she accidentally like so she ordered hair when she got her hair braided
Yeah.
over the summer, and it was a lot more red than she expected.
Okay.
So she just didn't say anything, and then I saw her, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a lot more red than I thought."
and you have to be like, "I love it."
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I didn't dislike it. She was the one that
fine.
actually disliked it more than I did.
Right.
But I was like, "You look like a WNBA player. You look cool."
It's a nice compliment.
Yeah, and yeah. She's like, "I know,
Well,
but
which
still.
WNBA player?
No, I just in general. I feel like all the WNBA women, they all have these like very colorful braids.
Telling you guys, must lie situation. Keep up the lies.
But it's okay because I have done this. I have this confidence now. Like if you're doing like a
Careful.
fashion show, like I just bought a bunch of stuff and you're trying on outfits, I am allowed to say that I don't like an outfit. I've said that. I've said
To
that.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not about her. That's about the clothes.
But she actually
Shaky
probably
ground, my friend.
But she wants honest
Shaky
feedback.
ground.
I've done that
No.
with Sarah as well.
Yeah.
Really? I don't even do that.
I've got like,
There's
what do you think of this? It happened just the other day. It's like, and she had like 3 different things, and one of them just was not. It was not like cut well. I was like, that's not flattering to you.
There's like there's an Instagram model who like she has her husband like grade her outfits that she wears, and every one he always gives at least a 9. He's always like, he's like, oh, that one I kind of like purple better, but I'm gonna give you a 9.4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the last slide in that Instagram post his grave site? Because
Also, what's the scale? 9.0 to 10?
exactly.
Every single one's at least a 9.
But I think the Bogusch and Perloff house I work the same. My wife buys like 5 outfits and always plans to return 3.
Right.
So
What
she
is
needs
that
actual
about?
honest
I don't
feedback.
know.
That's the approach.
I don't know a lot of women who are asking their husbands for that advice, but you know,
I definitely.
no, not like for fashion advice. But I'm just saying, guys, like, just make your lives easier. Just lie.
Am I just super lazy? Like what? Because like you're just saying that Andre does that all the time too, where she like buys all these outfits and then says I'm gonna return almost.
I'm going to tell you why.
I don't want to spend the energy to like package that stuff up or go back to the store. I'm never doing that.
I'm not trying to go back to UPS.
Guys, how little you know about women.
Damn right.
This is why women do this. And this is 100% the reason why. And this is the only reason why.
Why are you guys like this?
Because the mirrors in
Thank God you're
department
pretty.
stores don't tell you the truth. First of all, I don't want to try anything on in a department store. That time in my life is gone. And the mirrors lie. They're all skinny mirrors. You have to get home to your home-based mirror to know actually what it looks like. That's the only reason. That's it.
Yeah, but there's also a subset in this, which and it might be like one of those girl math things. And it probably is efficient, but like my wife will also order the same thing in multiple sizes.
Yeah.
Knowing that one, I'll
Yeah.
return the other. That
Yeah.
seems like too much work for me. Yet ordering one, getting it, and going, oh, this is too big or small. Let me return it and get the correct size is now more work.
Because the key thing there is you order online, right? Like my 15-year-old doesn't even know what a department store, by the way. You sound like,
Is Alexander's open
you
this
getting
weekend?
Butterscotch candy at the department store? What are you talking about? Mirror? And my wife buys 100.0% of her clothes online.
Yeah.
And
There's
then-
no mirrors.
And then when it comes to returning it, when do you get your money back? 5 to 10 business days afterwards. I want my money back now.
Oh, that's the worst.
Maggie apparently shops at Gimbals.
Great around Christmas. Sit on Santa's lap.
Yeah.
The hell are these places?
Oh, man. I can't shop online. I have to do everything in person.
Wow,
Whoa.
really?
This is
That's incredible.
So you have
2025.
Amazon just to watch the football.
I know, so I really need Al and Kirk to kind of pick it up a
Hello,
little
the
bit.
fabulous Miss Maisel.
Well, okay, so your husband isn't giving you honest feedback on your clothes.
Because I don't ask him.
Should bring it to the crew here. We'll evaluate. But look at the stylish crew we got going here.
Perloff, I wore a jean jacket the other day, and you called me Brooks from Shawshank Redemption.
I noticed that.
Any advice from you guys?
Yeah.
How's the grocery store going?
Just to go a quick tour. Manny's wearing
like
a Yankees t-shirt. Bogusch has a Portland Timbers jersey. EJ, I can't see. I assume that's a wrestling t-shirt.
It's an X-Men shirt.
X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Gambit and Rogue, Mr. and Mrs.
I'm wearing
X.
a plain blue navy sweatshirt.
Perloff always looks a little like a narc because you have the black hat on and the glasses and the
You
sweatshirt.
always say a black hat is narc. Like,
yeah.
I was going to give you Kyle Shanahan today.
A little flat brim.
Yeah, and a hoodie. If you had a play calling sheet in front of you, you'd be a coach right now.
I actually told my wife, I find it really annoying you always call me narc. All hats are black. You can't buy non-black hats.
Manny's wearing a white one.
I know. I can't find white hats. I specifically bought that Carhartt Phillies hat because I knew because there was like a really cool black one. Like I have to wear black hats. There just aren't other kind of hats out there. Most hats, there's a big time.
Can we just go back to the original our fight? Because you just said another sentence. Like I don't know how to process. You can't buy anything other than a black hat.
Well, I just like every
I
time.
don't know how to work with that sentence.
Every time. Because obviously that doesn't mean I physically am able to buy a hat. Like that's how people speak, right? That's how me and my friends talk. Which you would never be, apparently.
I know. You've made that abundantly clear. You were right at the beginning to dismiss
I can't
me.
imagine you sitting around a table with my friends. You'd be so like, what is going on here? And you would
the whole
speak and
Philly
they'd be
thing.
like,
well, here's the real
This trip to San
deal.
Antonio is going to be awesome.
I was going to say.
Now I have to do it.
Bogusch is going to be on the side of the road somewhere in like Missouri. There's no shot he's going to make it all the way to San Antonio.
well, part
This
of the
update
road
is
trip
brought
was
to
to
you
go.
by Springfield, Missouri.
Part of the road trip idea was that I see friends along the way, but apparently
I wouldn't do that.
No.
Bogusch wouldn't understand what the heck we're talking about.
No.
Because we speak like guys. I don't know. Yeah, exaggerate.
Manny,
of course.
come get me. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Is that on the way to
Take
New
the
Orleans to San
train.
Antonio?
Yeah, if you go south.
If a Little League game in 16 hours, we can make it.
Well, we blew that update, Bogusch. Will you hang out with us?
Sure.
Okay. Coming
Couldn't
up.
leave my Perloff.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Nick Kostos from You Better You Bet will join us, make you a little bit of money. We're asking, will Jerry Jones ever live down this Micah Parsons trade? Parsons was awesome last night. M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Now Bailey rode into town with suspicion in his eyes, saying Kaplan's got a secret and he's hiding it inside. Zach Jobs lost in darkness, Ryan Stream's a mess, Chappelle Wolf's just a spinning wheel. Oh Lord, what a distress. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Now Peter Bellotti, well he don't show, and that man's supposed to be running this show. If there's a tech problem, don't look at me. Ask the guy who's missing more than Tennessee tea. So Davey, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make strings fly. But Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Daily says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Now Peter Bellotti, well he don't show, and that man's supposed to be running this show. If there's a tech problem, don't look at me. Ask the guy who's missing more than Tennessee tea. So, Daddy, my friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make strings fly. Maggie and Perloff, they shine so bright, like a star in the desert on a Texas night. Bailey says it's shady, but I swear on my name, I just push the buttons, I don't play no games. Oh, don't play no games.
2 minutes remaining.
My friend, don't spread that lie. I ain't no bandit, I just make dreams fly.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie Perloff Show. Didn't get to our update last segment. Too busy chit-chatting about how you need to lie to your significant other about how they look, what they're wearing, their appearance in general. And it goes both ways.
Sorry, I'm a little confused. It's so weird. That's Dave Matthews, right? I didn't know he had another song besides Crash.
I knew you were going to do that. Let's get to Bogusch, who's got the latest headlines. What's up?
Impressed you to know that was Crash. Hope everyone enjoyed the Tucker Kraft game.
And faking the handoff. Love rolls right, throws end zone. Tucker Kraft. Touchdown. And a Lambeau leap to the north end zone stands. They beat Will Harris on a beautiful play fake by Jordan Love.
Wayne Larrivee. On Packers radio, Kraft caught 6 passes for 124 yards and that score. Those the most yards by a Packer tight end in a decade. The TD catch reestablished a 2-score lead for Green Bay in the fourth quarter last night. They beat the Commanders 27-18 to start 2-0 for the first time since 2020. Jordan Love, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, just 200 yards on 42 attempts from Jaden Daniels. He was sacked 4 times among 21 pressures.
They did a great job of their scheme, and it's a really good football team. So at the end of the day, it's only week 2. We'll learn from that. We got to get better. It's a long season.
Micah Parsons, 3 hits on Daniels. He shared a sack, and he drew 3 penalties. Manny, no pressure but pressure. J.J. McCarthy is just 22 years old. He is an NFL starting quarterback.
I'm familiar.
He has a fiance, and now he's a dad. His son was born yesterday.
Why, bro? You got so much time.
They mentioned that on the broadcast.
Yeah.
I think it's a girlfriend from high school. Like, they've been together for a really long time.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Congratulations, buddy.
Enjoy the batting cage.
Well, Manny, you're about to be an uncle soon.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Woo!
You're doing great, pal. Keep it up.
Thank you, Max.
That's super fun, man. You'll love that.
I sure as heck hope so. Yeah, I'm gonna. He or she. We still don't know what the baby is, but he or she is gonna have a Knicks onesie. It's gonna be first thing that he or she gonna wear.
Yeah. No, being uncle and aunt is great.
You give them back. That's the best
that's what I'm
part.
saying. Yeah, I can hang out with him or her for 2-3 hours, and then once he or she starts crying, here you go, Los. Yeah, fat lard.
Talking about his brother.
Yeah, Manny's love for his brothers shows in weird ways when he called him a pile of grease. Anyway,
Pete Rose.
A drop of sweat, you can make 5 strips of bacon with that kid. Anyway, Pete Rose.
it's a fun little sibling rivalry you guys have.
Pete Rose once gave Joe DiMaggio a shower. Aaron Judge about to give Joe D a new spot on the Yankee home run list.
1-0 pitch to Aaron, swinging a drive. Deep left center field. Looks like he's done it again. Giddy up, gone. Into the bullpen again. Another home run for Aaron Judge, his second tonight. 46 on the season and ties Joe DiMaggio for fourth place on the all-time Yankee franchise home run list.
I believe it's 361 career homers. Dave
I gave Joe DiMaggio a shower.
Sims on WFAM, which is also where P. Rose said that, right?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I
I just found it in the system.
The Yanks avoided a 3-game sweep from the Tigers 9-3, but they remain 3 games behind the Blue Jays in the AL East.
Hey, man, we're going to make the playoffs.
That must be nice. The Las Vegas Aces clinched the 2 seed in the WNBA postseason with their 16th win in a row, 103-75 in LA. That ties for the second longest win streak in league history. Asia Wilson, 23 points and 19 rebounds.
Oh, my goodness.
And the UEFA Executive Committee putting a temporary hold on the Barcelona-Villarreal match scheduled for Miami. They want to talk to all involved, including fans, before letting La Liga move this match to the States. Over 400 different fan groups throughout Europe have petitioned against clubs moving league games overseas.
We are so broke. I don't understand how one of the best clubs in the world, one of the most successful clubs in Spain, is just so broke. We still don't have a stadium. We don't even know if they're going to play this weekend because the stadium's not ready. This team is incredibly broke, and it's one of the best clubs in the world. I don't understand what is happening. They have to move games to the United States just to have a place to play, and still we can't even get that nailed down.
What on earth are you talking about, man?
Wow. All right.
I didn't know that I was going to get all that in the back end. I just thought this was a soccer story.
Well, now I'm kind of curious. They don't have an American owner, do they?
No, we do not.
All right. Well, Bogusch, thank you for that. Let's go to Mark, who's in California. We've been talking about the Packers, and while they were super impressive last night, especially the defense, Mark, we're wondering why are these games a little bit closer against Commanders and the Lions than we thought?
Well, my point is, and by the way, I love your show.
Thank you.
My point is the Packers played the Commanders. The Commanders are one of the best teams in the NFL. So are the Lions. The reason why the game was close is because they're playing two of the best teams. They went just as deep as the Packers went last year. And plus, the thing is I played lineman in college for 4 years. I played offensive guard. Linemen want to run the ball.
Yeah.
The game plan is not to blow the other team out. The game is to win the game, and that's why they ran the ball. The reason why the Bears lost to the Vikings is, and actually McCarthy didn't play a bad first half. He played within himself, and then they made adjustments, and they wore down the Bears. Caleb is not capable of winning games. He's too young. And then when they got away from the run, that's why they lost the game to the Vikings. So the effort is the reason they play these games.
Hold on one second.
Coordinators,
I know
they don't want Jordan Love to
throw the ball, stop the clock,
lose the game by throwing picks when they have one of the best running games in the NFL. So that's
right.
the goal.
Okay.
The goal is not to lose the game by throwing interceptions.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment, too. First of all, I didn't think that the Commanders secondary was not hanging with the Packers wide receivers at all. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore was getting toasted in this game.
He's toast. Yeah.
Okay, well, and this was a bad performance from the Commanders' defense. Their offense left a lot to be desired, partly because the Packers' defense is so good, and I thought the Commanders' defense was not very good at all. The thing is about this being close and these games being close, you're saying because the Commanders and the Lions are really great teams, but the numbers actually don't bear that out. The Packers were doubling up the Commanders last night in terms of yards, passing yards. The score was close, but the game did not feel close at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean,
numbers wise, the Packers were destroying them. The final total yards, Packers had 404. The Commanders had 230.
But a lot of the plays
even
that Green Bay had, like think of the throws that Jordan Love was putting a dot 40 yards down the line. The one that the guy caught, Malik caught on the sideline was a crazy catch. The one that got called back was when Jordan Reed caught it was a crazy. That was a crazy catch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The one thing, they had no answer for Tucker Kraft. That was a big issue for the Commanders. So basically, I'm not sure I agree with that. I think that if this game was played in Washington later in the season, we might see something different. This was a short week. And that Giants game was actually quite physical for the Commanders. They were on the field a lot. I think you're jumping to conclusions about them. But he's right. LaFleur likes to run it. I mean, there's no doubt. He's kind of always been that way a little bit. I think Rodgers was annoyed by him.
Well, listen, you saw that the Packers were actually holding a little bit of something in the back pocket because all of a sudden when it was a one-score game, what was LaFleur doing? Some weird jet sweep, wildcat, started to get into his bag a little bit more. This was not he got more risky as the game got tighter.
Oh, no. He did not throw the ball in the second half like he did the first half. Though.
No, but started to go towards some of these more unique plays and stuff. This is a one-score game. He had to, right?
You're in a 5-minute break.
Daily was waiting by that glowing screen, hoping night shift crown would go to the king. Ship held it down night after night, with fire in his voice and truth in his mic. But the news came in like a cold hard slap. Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real. Shepard earned a late night deal. Now Shepard ain't sleeping and Daly's in tears. The Shepard maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled.
3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
This is Andrew Perloff. With an Odyssey. Oh.
Like a cold hard slap, Pat Boyle's got it, felt like a trap. No shade on the kid, but let's be real. Shepard earned a late night deal. Now Shepard ain't sleeping and Daly's in tears. The Shepard maniac's been loyal for years. We stayed up late, we rode every wave, but they gave it to Pat and dug Ship's grave. So we howled the moon and cursed at the sky, asking one question: why, oh why, oh why? Meanwhile, Bellotti still don't show up for work. No call, no text, just gone with a smirk. Yet Ship clocked in through the thick and the thin. Rain or shine, he'd always check in. Infinity, you broke our trust. We wanted Shep and that's a must. You picked a boil, but we needed flame. Now the overnights just won't be the same. Yeah, chef, it ain't sleeping, we're twisted with rage. You skip the vet for the new kid on stage. From the Bronx to the burbs, we're standing tall. Chef, a maniacs, answer every call. So
Manny woke up, eyes full of dread. His yellow wiffle bat was gone from the shed. He checked the closet, the fridge, the cat. Where in the world is my beautiful bat? Oh, Manny, Manny, don't you cry. That bat's not gone, it's just shy. Hiding out in the laundry mat. A happy reunion with your yellow bat. He searched the yard, he searched the van. Even shook hands with a raccoon named Stan. Just when he sighed,
well, that is that.
He heard a thud, sweet mercy, my bat. Under the couch, behind old shoes, next to a sock from 92. There it lay with the dusty hat, the glorious glow of his yellow bat. Manny's back, he's
I'm
swinging
Andrew
fine,
Perloff.
but Peter Belotti's still wasting time. He's got...
Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Well, the Packers go no huddle. Love looking around, takes the snap from under center, gives to Jacobs again, blasting his way, left side end zone, touchdown, Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs, and it's 13-0. 10 straight games with a touchdown run for Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, maybe an anytime touchdown bet on Josh Jacobs would be a smart one to make. Welcome to the show, and thank you to the Packers Radio Network for that one. It's Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. Final score 27-18. Didn't really feel that close, even though it was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. It was the Packers defense, Perloff, that put on an absolute clinic. And cover your ears and eyes, Cowboy fans. Micah Parsons was awesome again.
I don't think the odds would be good on the Josh Jacobs. That's 11 straight games with a touchdown. Unbelievable. It looked like he really struggled early in the game, too. He was bottled up, but did finally get I know because all fantasy owners were like, what is Josh Jacobs doing to me right now? It's a great formula Green Bay's got going. Run game, defense. I know Jordan Love, by the way, kind of like Troy Aikman with the Cowboys, will hit you with the big bomb once in a while. So if you start to cheat up to stop the run game, boom, they get you long.
We will continue to talk about the Packers beating the Washington Commanders, but let's get to our pal Nick Kostos from You Better You Bet, the host of You Better You Bet, who joins us every Friday at this time, try to help you guys win some money. Nick, thanks so much for doing it. Good morning. Green Bay Packers now tied with the Baltimore Ravens for the second best Super Bowl odds behind the Bills. They're plus 600. Is that something you would dabble in, yes or no?
Well, first off, great to be on with you guys. Happy Friday to you guys and all the listeners and viewers. I would say no for right now, only because from a betting perspective, you are betting Green Bay at the absolute peak of what the Packers are right now. Now, they could destroy the Browns next week after 10 days off, but that's going to be the expectation. You know, over a 4-day span, they annihilated, like wiped off the face of the earth, two teams that played in the divisional round last year that were in the Final Four of the NFC. And the Packers made both teams look like they didn't belong on the same field as them. So, like, do I think the Packers are the most likely team out of the NFC to get to and maybe win the Super Bowl? I would still default towards the reigning defending champion, Philadelphia Eagles, for right now. But it wouldn't surprise me if the Packers end up being the NFC representative in Super Bowl 60. I guess, Maggie, from a betting perspective, my guess is you will get a better opportunity to bet Green Bay at some point than right now. I mean, they were 13-1 before the regular season started about, like a little over a week ago.
Nick, we've been arguing all week about what this game means for the Kansas City Chiefs, because if you look at the odds, the Super Bowl odds in the AFC, it looks like a lot of Buffalo and Baltimore, and KC falling down a little bit after a week one loss. Do you look at this as a must-win game against Philadelphia for KC?
I don't know if I'd say it's a must-win game because the Chiefs kind of don't fall under the umbrella of like the 99.9% of teams in the history of the NFL. Now, as far as making the playoffs goes, I absolutely think the Chiefs can make it if they lose on Sunday. And I like them a little bit in the game, maybe not enough to place a bet, but I do like the Chiefs a little bit on Sunday. They can absolutely make the playoffs. I think the issue becomes, and this is the whole point of Kansas City, right? Why they play the games when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. The point is to win a Super Bowl championship. And in the history of the league, we've only seen 3 teams start 0-2 and win the Super Bowl. Not get to the playoffs, win the Super Bowl. The 93 Dallas Cowboys, the 2001 New England Patriots, and, game 2 of that season's pretty famous. Mo Lewis meet Drew Bledsoe, meet Tom Brady. And then my 2007 New York Football Giants. So the Chiefs are up against it from a historical perspective as far as winning the Super Bowl goes if they lose this game coming up on Sunday. But I absolutely think that this will still be a playoff team. And remember, like Rashee Rice is going to be back after another 4 games after this one. We'll see if Xavier Worthy's able to play on Sunday. I'm still bullish on the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll see how the game goes. If it's a repeat of Super Bowl 59, I think there will be some reason for concern.
Nick, how do you bet this game, though, for Kansas City? Is this a money line play against the Eagles where you get plus money, or do you like the over-under more? Like, how do you do this?
Yeah, so I do like the total of the game, and I want to I'm just refreshing BetMGM
46
to see
and a
where we're
half.
at.
Yeah,
I see a 47.
Okay.
46 and a half is a better bet to make because I do like the over. Lean for me towards Kansas City, and I'm curious if Perloff, as an Eagles fan, agrees with this. I said all summer on You Better You Bet, and it's not like the greatest take of all. I think if you pay attention, you felt this way, right? Like the Eagles secondary has the potential to be a problem this year. And I also just said I think they're the most likely team to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. So I'm not saying it's going to sink them. Just that I think it's an area of concern, right? You lose a bunch of talent in that secondary. And look, you still have Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who are absolute studs. But I would say it's a problem that after Adoree Jackson, who, like, we knew all summer long this guy's toast. Like, he's done. He won the starting cornerback 2 job, got destroyed last Thursday night by the Cowboys, and Vic Fangio comes out and says he's going to start a corner again this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone think this is a problem?
They worked out Mike Hilton, Nick, who's 31 years old and is already basically out of the league. They're desperate.
Well,
they don't know what to do.
More context, Perloff, on the Mike Hilton point. Think about this. Mike Hilton is a long-time, excellent NFL slot cornerback. He's 31 years old, was out of the league, got signed by the Miami Dolphins about 6 weeks ago, and got cut by the Miami Dolphins. So, we're talking, below the scrap heap here. So I think the Eagles secondary is a concern. And then on the flip side with Kansas City, I've got big time. I think the offense will be fine with the Chiefs, even if Xavier Worthy doesn't play in the game. The defense on Friday night in Brazil against the Chargers, I thought was pretty alarming, specifically the pass defense. Now, that's not to take anything away from Justin Herbert, who was magnificent in the game, but think about if Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen can do what they did last Friday night. What can A.J. Brown, who's the ultimate squeaky wheel this Sunday, and Devontae Smith do to this Chiefs defense? So over 46.5 would be my bet in this game, 47 if that's the only number you have.
Well, Eagles lost some coaching, too. And speaking of losing coaching, the Detroit Lions, what do we make of them? I'm seeing 6-point favorites against Chicago. Was last week the real Lions, or are we going to see the real Lions this week, and are they going to pick it up, Nick?
So it's fascinating, right? Things happen in week 1, and we're kind of left to ask, was this about this team? Was it about their opponent? What was it about? And I don't know how you watch last night's game with the Packers and the Commanders and not walk away thinking that last Sunday at Lambeau was probably more about the Packers being dominant than it is the Detroit Lions, stinking. Now, they're hosting the Bears on Sunday, and Perloff, you said the number is 6. At BetMGM, this number is starting to go up. So we're almost at Lions minus 6.5 here. I have a little bit of a contrarian opinion on this game where I think the Bears can keep it closer than the betting market thinks. Not that I think Caleb Williams, he could get benched at some point this season. That was kind of an alarming performance from him. I don't say that to be alarmist. We watched the game. He can't do simple things that Ben Johnson's asking him to do. There are receivers running wide open on this Vikings defense. He can't hit them. So I want to take a little bit of a shot here, like not a huge bet for me, but I'm going to end up betting the Bears in this game, with the thought being that the gap between these two teams is not as large. What I'll also say is, J.J. McCarthy was nails, right, in the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football. He was great. And I had the over in the game, and I appreciate it because it got the game over the total. 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I think some context is required here, and I'm not trying to pour cold water on McCarthy, who played well in the game in the fourth quarter, right? The Bears were missing 4 starters on defense, including like 3 of their best players in the secondary, and their rangy linebacker in the middle of the field, TJ Edwards. So we're going to find out a lot more about who's going to play on defense for the Bears this weekend today. Kyler Gordon, who's like their stud slot corner, hasn't practiced this week. Grady Jarrett also hasn't practiced. If the Bears defense gets a clean bill of health, I think Dennis Allen's a badass coordinator. And the one thing about Detroit that I don't think has anything to do with Green Bay is the interior of this offensive line is not what it was in the past. Like, Ragnow's gone. You've got 2 young guards in Ratledge and Mahogany, and I think that the Bears front can get at him. That's why I want Grady Jarrett to play. So it's going to be Bears or nothing for me. I want to wait to see what the injury report looks like today.
Nick Kostos joining us from You Better You Bet. We'll do a couple more NFL bets and then get your thoughts on some college stuff as well. Nick, and what did you're speaking about was it your team or was it your opponent from week 1? It can be hard to dissect. For the Steelers now, home opener for Aaron Rodgers. They're only 3-point favorites against a traveling Seattle Seahawks team. Has to go cross-country, 1 o'clock start, body clock. You're going up against Sam Darnold. I mean, how do you bet this game? Is this more where you want to just go like with the spread? Are you going over-unders here? Is it Rodgers props?
So I'm very high on the Steelers this week and this year. And I think we talked about that last week. I bet the Steelers to make the playoffs. I have them over the win total. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers won a couple games. I don't think their upside is to get to the Super Bowl, but to win a couple games in January. So I like the Steelers a lot this year. I think, Maggie, and I like the way you kind of frame that because you're right. And I feel that a lot of people will look at this point spread and say, well, look at how well Rodgers played last week. 4 touchdowns, no picks. Seattle lost to San Francisco. Point spread's only 3. Like, what's happening here? What's happening is, I think bettors and like football analysts, like if you're like really, really in the weeds on this stuff, the Seahawks defense is awesome.
Yeah.
And the head coach, Mike McDonald, is like a defensive wizard calling plays. And I think we're having a way different conversation about this game. And I like the Steelers. But Brock Purdy threw a couple passes up for grabs on the final drive when Jake Tonja scored that touchdown, where Tyreek Woolen was like a Madden-controlled player that completely lost his mind and ran the other way. Like should have had 2 interceptions. Instead, it's a Pearsall 40-yard catch down the far sideline. And then Tonja, it's like the sea of hands with the Dolphins and the Raiders in the early 70s. Snatches it out of me. Like, what the hell was going on? I bet Seattle. I was pissed. So I think the thought is, Rodgers probably is not going to repeat that. The Seattle defense is awesome. And the other thing is, Pittsburgh's got a pretty bad injury report right now on the defensive side of the ball. Most notably, Joey Porter Jr. hasn't practiced yet this week, so we'll see if he's able to practice today. I do like the Steelers in the game. I'm waiting to see what happens here, Maggie. It'll probably be, if I play Pittsburgh, a money line play for me on the Steelers or a live betting opportunity where if it comes down and the end of the game is close, I'd rather have my money on Aaron Rodgers than Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Nick, a couple of numbers that confused me. Cleveland Browns at Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are 11.5-point favorite. Maggie and I both picked them for a survivor pool, but the total's only 44.5 because Cleveland's defense looked great last week. What do you do in a game with a big spread like that and a kind of a lower total, especially because Baltimore's offense scored 40 points last week?
Yeah, I think the thought is it's not because of the Browns defense. I think it's because of the Ravens defense because when the intimated final score is that Cleveland's not going to score a lot in the game. If Baltimore's favored by 12 and the total's low, Baltimore's going to win by a lot to a little, I think is the thought in the betting market. I don't have a strong opinion on this game, Perloff. I think everything just looks kind of right to me. If I had to bet the game, I would bet the Ravens, and I bet the Ravens on sides. Really just good, nice old kick in the junk to start the season from a betting perspective. Baltimore on Sunday night. And look, they do this all the time, and it's one of the reasons why I'll never pick Harbaugh, Lamar together to win a Super Bowl. But they're all saying the right things coming out of that game, especially on defense, where Zach Orr has taken the blame, the defensive coordinator. Marlon Humphrey who's one of the leaders on defense, the vocal leader, says, we got to lock in. We can't keep giving up these leads. So you like to hear that. make me bet the game. I'll bet the Ravens. I don't have a tremendously strong opinion on it, though.
Nick Kostos from You Better You Bet joins us every Friday. So we've done some NFL. Let's get to some college, Nick. Can we? Georgia, Tennessee is obviously a massive showdown in the SEC. How do you bet this game? Right now, Tennessee, a 4-point underdog, but at home in Neyland Stadium.
So Georgia was a 3.5-point favorite a couple days ago, and there's a thought. And, the Clemson-Georgia Tech betting market, Maggie, was similar early in the week. Yeah. We had 2 3.5-point road favorites, and we've seen kind of a fork in the road with both of these games where Georgia Tech drew interest, getting that number. So Clemson's just a 3-point road favorite at Georgia Tech, whereas Georgia has gotten bet out a little bit in this game at Tennessee. So the Bulldogs now a 4-point road favorite. And that's the side that I come down on, where you can understand why people would be into Tennessee. I think Josh Heupel's an awesome coach, like a great coach. And everybody, including me, when Nico Iamaleava leaves this offseason and goes to UCLA, it's like, wow, like Nico looked like an NFL quarterback. How does Tennessee rebound from this? Joey Aguilar looks like he's running this offense just as well, if not better than Nico did last year. So this is super impressive from Tennessee to start the year. And when you consider Georgia, it hasn't been a super impressive. It's been fine to start the year, but Gunnar Stockton hasn't knocked anybody's socks off yet. Obviously, now the quarterback with Carson Beck in Miami. This feels to me like a typical Kirby's going to convince his team that they're actually the underdogs. They're not getting respect. A little bit of a coming out party for Gunnar Stockton. My preferred side in the game would be to lay it with Georgia.
Nick, one more college game from me. Texas A&M, Notre Dame. I feel like I've been watching Texas A&M get glowed up on ESPN all week, but it's still Notre Dame favored by 6.5 points. What do you think of this game?
So I like Notre Dame at the number at -6.5. But I think that there are some potential warning signs if the game starts. So if you want to bet this pregame, and I'm going to talk about the Notre Dame-Miami game in a second and the reason why. So I bet Notre Dame against Miami in week 1 on Sunday night. And I still hold, and this is not like to bitch and moan about a lost bet. Like if you bet Miami, Miami was the right side in the game. But what I hold is if those two teams played tomorrow, I would bet Notre Dame, and I would feel pretty confident Notre Dame was going to win. The offensive game plan early for the Irish in that one was, let's call a spade a spade. It was ridiculous. It was incredibly stupid, where you wanted to keep C.J. Carr in bubble wrap. It's all these short passes to the point that Miami sniffed one out and had an interception off it because they were doing it so much. Jeremiah Love inexplicably doesn't touch the ball that much until the end of the game. And once they kind of take the chains off C.J. Carr and let C.J. Carr actually play, he looked really good against Miami, and the offense got humming in the second half there. So I'm curious, is Notre Dame going to come out and be aggressive on offense? Because to me, C.J. Carr looked like you could have told me that was Riley Leonard playing in the second half of that game, and I would have believed it. They went to the title game last year with Riley Leonard. You have an NFL running back in Jeremiah Love. Let's use him. So early in this game, if Notre Dame does what it needs to do, I feel like the Irish will win this game by at least 7. But if they're running this stupid offense and trying to be ultra conservative, I think they're ripe for an upset. So I do lean towards Notre Dame, but I am a little concerned, and we won't know until the game starts.
Last one, Nick, from me, and it's still college. It's tantalizing. South Florida, been one of the great stories early on this season, beating Boise State, upsetting Florida in the swamp. They're now a 17.5-point underdog on the road against EJ's Miami Hurricanes. I feel like they're begging you to take the points here, which always makes me a little wary. How do you bet this game?
Yeah, I think Miami's gonna slam them. This is I could give you a bunch of on-field analysis. I'll just from talking to a lot of really smart bettors, if you're South Florida, it's gonna, not that you can't get up for this game, of course you can. You had 2 unbelievable wins to start the season. You've kind of been thrust into the national spotlight here. I don't mean this. I do mean it actually as kind of an insult to Florida, who has a great talent, but I think the coach might have zero brain activity based on how the end of that game went. Miami, to me, is a cut above. Obviously, Boise, and I think also is a cut above University of Florida. I think Miami wins. I think Miami wins big on Saturday.
Nick, not even a betting question, but is this the year the Giants finally beat Dak Prescott? Your Giants?
No. No way. Well, is Andrew Thomas going to play? The offense, dude, they suck so much. I hope the answer is no. I want them to lose.
And when do you
want
them
to get embarrassed?
When do you want to see Jackson Dart, the rookie?
Yesterday.
Yeah. You don't need them to lose, Nick. You already got the quarterback, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know that that's true. And also, like, when this regime gets fired, now, like, a new regime has to come in and decide this is why, and, like, we don't have to relitigate this, and this is not, like, a New York Giants show. This is why it was ludicrous to keep these two. Because now they pick
Shane and
this
Dable.
is like what this is like what the Bears do.
This is what bad teams do.
The bad teams do. So now, if they get fired, and did anyone watch them last week? Did you think they performed well against the? And think about this also: the gap between the Giants and the best teams in the league. The Commanders made the Giants look like the Packers made the Commanders look last night. Could you imagine what happens when the Giants actually have to play like a Green Bay? The point spread should be 50.
Wow.
Not actually 50.
Do you bet on the Giants? Like, are there any teams you're too emotional about? Like, and what would you advise people about betting on their own team? Because I find myself like totally getting emotional.
The last time I let that be, so like I won't bet against my teams like in the playoffs. So like I won't bet against the Yankees in the playoffs. I didn't bet against the Knicks in the playoffs. I wish, and Perloff, you'll remember that you're an Eagles fan. When the Giants went to the second round of the playoffs, the first year of Jones and Dable, in 22, they beat the Vikings in Minnesota in the wild card rounds and then went to Philadelphia on that Saturday night game. And if you'll recall, Jalen Hurts was going to win MVP that year and hurt his shoulder at the end of the year. And Gardner Minshew filled in and played a couple games. So Hurts comes back for that game, and we have no idea how Hurts is going to look. Like, and I remember saying my analysis of the game was if the game starts and like Hurts doesn't look good, the Giants could definitely keep this close. But if Hurts looks like Hurts, they're going to win by 50. And like first pass of the game, here's Devontae Smith for 50 yards. And I remember sitting on my couch thinking, like, I really, really regret not hammering the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. So I won't make that mistake again.
We had a discussion yesterday about if it came down to Malik Nabers versus Brian Dable, because, you know, they got into it and the sideline. I'm like, who do they pick? Because they did not pick Odell Beckham Jr. when it was Odell v. What was it, Pat Shurmur or whatever?
I mean, but
Joe
you
Judge,
had,
I don't remember.
Okay, so this is going to, I'm sure he's a very nice man. I mean that. Like, I really do. That's not like I am going to tell a joke after this, but I'm not trying to be mean. You had the certifiable moron Dave Gettleman running the Giants at that point. Ran the team. If the Giants chose Brian Dable, look, last year and how many NFL head coaches get to stick around when you field in year 3? I don't care that they didn't pick first overall, the worst team in the league. And now it's year 4. Your offense still can't score. You got the quarterback you wanted after saying all we need, Daniel Jones is the problem. He's awesome last week for the Indianapolis Colts and Shane Steichen, and you're an absolute abject disaster. And you're going to pick that Ozempic Brian Dable over one of the best young receivers in the NFL? Please. I mean, that would actually be par for the course for this asinine, stupid organization.
What was always amazing about the Giants during that era, the Gettleman era, is that they were terrible, had no franchise quarterback they were playing, yet they were always salary cap strapped. I'm like, who are you paying? How do you have no money?
I mean,
it was amazing.
I can't believe that we beat the Patriots twice. Just like, thank God the first one happened. I know, but
Nick, thank you so much.
Some teams have never won a Super Bowl, and I don't say that personally.
I know, no, you did mean it personally, but that's okay. Nick, thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend. Appreciate you.
Wishing everybody Minimal Sweats winning bets the absolute very best of luck, and I pray that around 4, I think it's an early game on, so whenever it ends, short 3 hours after the game starts, I hope to be saying, how about them Cowboys beating the brakes off my New York Football Giants?
Yeah, tough spot to be in, Nick, when you're rooting for that. But we appreciate the honesty. Have a great weekend, sir. All right. We've got lots to do, including some bets that Perloff and I might like over the weekend.
That is amazing. I think that's the 1 o'clock game the Cowboys play all season. Like, Cowboys Giants is so low profile now because the Giants are so irrelevant that they got put at 1 o'clock. How is that possible?
This is so depressing.
That used to be the highest rated game every year.
Well, but also America's game of the week is Eagles-Chiefs. That's the 4 o'clock
Yeah,
big
but still,
one.
when our friends in the NFL put the schedule together, usually, I think this might be like one of the only 1 o'clock games the Cowboys play all season.
Yeah, if it wasn't America's game, it was always going to be Monday night or Sunday night football, these two teams.
Why would you ever put us on a prime time spot?
No.
Thank you, Roger Goodell. He finally woke up.
No, there's one other 1 o'clock game. New York Jets. The second most irrelevant team. That's amazing.
All right. Let's take a quick break. Come back. Got some headlines for you. Asking a question. Will Jerry Jones ever live down the Micah Parsons trade? If you did not catch the game last night in Lambeau, Micah Parsons looked right at home. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. We'll get to some leans. Is that how you want to put it, Pearl? Ways we're leaning with some bets coming up this weekend. But first, this is just hilarious and one to talk about here on the show. Terrell Hatton is a golfer who's English who made the Ryder Cup team. And he was at a press conference talking about how much he celebrated after making the team. And it was a lot of drinking.
I fell across the bed sideways and face down in that position, and then I've woken myself up throwing up in that position. I've then fallen back asleep in that position, and then as I've woken up, I've got like sick all down my arms, both sides, all down my shirt. I get off the bed, like walk around to the bathroom, look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, I've got sick in my face, in my beard.
Oh, bloody hell.
More from Hatton. He has no idea how somehow he drank this much and made his flight the next day.
Huh?
How I set an alarm to make the flight for the few hours time, I don't know. But yeah, then waking up in a slightly more sober state was horrendous, and having to clean up that. I mean, I ended up calling Emily. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was rushing to make the room somewhat acceptable before leaving. So yeah, I ended up stripping the bed, leaving some cash on and a note saying I was really sorry. I was sick on the bed in the night. Please throw in the trash.
Pearl, he was talking about all the things that he was drinking the night he found out he made the Ryder Cup. And it's just one of those nights I think that everyone maybe has experienced this at some point where you start with one thing. Like he said, he basically had a bottle of wine to start. Oh. Then you start on the mixed drinks. And then you get like somehow on the tequila train, but then also a little on the amaretto sour train.
Is this the first time this guy drinks?
He's English, so I doubt it. And
then, Terrell Hatton, it feels like he's done this before.
Then, doesn't seem too smart about it.
But then, then someone says, let's do a shot. Then all of a sudden you're doing shots. And then I think he said he finished the night with like a strawberry daiquiri or something.
Delicious.
I mean, obviously we're all rooting for America, but I think partying with the Europe team would be a lot more fun. I mean, they got Tommy Fleetwood, like all the British guys could definitely party. Shane Lowry. Can you imagine trying to drink with that guy? Not to play into stereotypes.
Yeah, no.
But I've seen Shane Lowry on Top Golf. That guy likes his beverages too.
Do you know the comedian Shane Gillis? Obviously.
Yeah,
you've heard of him. He's like one of the most famous comedians now. He had a stand-up thing, or not stand-up, he was doing a podcast or something. He hates going to L.A. because L.A. everyone goes to sleep at 9 p.m. and nobody's drinking there. Everyone's too busy going on hikes. He's like, give me Buffalo.
Little JJ Wow. That's what we used to call him.
Said he wants to go to like Ireland because he's like, oh, it's rainy outside. Let's go to the pub. There's nothing else to do. Like there is, obviously. He's just joking, but.
You should meet his brother, TJ. He's the man.
He's the is he the unofficial Notre Dame mascot now? Did you guys see?
I did see that
the video where he's coach of the team. Unbelievable. Also, what does he have in common with yours truly?
Don't start with this
Eagles
PA.
fan.
Not just an Eagles fan, diehard Eagles fan. Was standing next to him at the Super Bowl party.
Yeah, but he's like kind of okay. But I think he's getting to the point. No, I know he's a big Eagles fan, but he's now making a lot of appearances with a lot of pro sports teams.
Yeah, but he works in the Eagles like crazy. I mean, his hype video is it's half comedy stuff, half Eagles highlights. No, he's the real deal. And tires, they talk about the Eagles a lot. Like he's no joke. He's even bigger than Bradley Cooper.
I would love to go watch Shane Gillis, but I'm literally not going because I know that he's going to pull some Go Birds garbage crap in Madison Square Garden. That's why I'm not buying tickets.
Would you go see Kevin Hart?
I have seen Kevin Hart in Buffalo though. But he never mentioned anything about the Eagles. He never said anything about the Eagles. He's not going to mention the Eagles down in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, I was actually at a concert once where the lead singer did mention something about their team beating the team of the arena we were in.
Mm-hmm.
So this was Arcade Fire, and the guy Win Butler is a big Houston Rockets fan and mentioned about beating the Knicks, and I think he lost the crowd for a minute.
Oh,
and then he
good.
had to get him back with like one of their hit songs.
Good. Yeah, somebody should have swept the leg.
Bogusch is here with headlines. Does Dave Matthews ever talk about his Cowboys?
His Cowboys?
Isn't he a Dallas guy?
No.
Yeah, Dan Patrick, my former boss, was in a movie with Dave Matthews, and he said he knew nothing about sports.
Yeah.
Does that ring true, folks?
I mean, he's been at Seahawks games because he's half the year based in Seattle, but I don't know. I don't think he actually roots for anybody.
Yeah, DP said he doesn't really follow sports at all. But
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, he's done the thing. He was born in South Africa,
Yeah.
moved to Virginia, and splits his time between there and Seattle.
Yeah,
But
because he
I don't know
came
where I
up.
got Dallas from. Sorry.
He came up with Darius Rucker, who is like that is a sports fan. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The two of them, I thought maybe they were in the same circles, but DMB no.
Is he the Hootie or the Blowfish?
He's the Hootie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, he could slide over and take any of our jobs in a second.
Oh,
That's
he's
how big
so-
of a sports fan he is.
Yeah, I remember this famous line, "The Dolphins make me cry," in that first hit song.
Does he still do the after the Masters golf?
Oh, in
thing?
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Did you
But-
guys do that?
No, we never. Have you ever done it?
People have gone from here to that, but
Yeah.
I never went. When we first started, there were a couple years in a row where somebody was at that event from the network.
He goes up to plays a show at Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun, and he'll have like random ESPN personalities come up and play the drums.
Yeah.
Like Mike Golick will be on bass guitar. I'm actually not exaggerating. Like he incorporates. Dan and him are like such good friends. It's unbelievable. He is part of the sports industry.
No, he and Tiger Woods are really good friends, too.
Yeah.
All right, Bugs, what do you got?
So despite Micah Parsons' presence, the Packer run D held the Commanders to just 51 yards on Thursday Night
What a
Football.
disgrace.
Parsons was a nuisance last night, pressuring Jaden Daniels 8 times, sharing a sack, and drawing 3 penalties.
Shout out to the organization for believing in me and think I could come in and make an impact. And, I just want to keep holding up this standard and, level that they expected me to come in and play with.
Parsons' efforts led to this as he was interviewed post-game on Amazon Prime.
Thank you, Jerry! Thank you, Jerry! Thank you, Jerry!
The cheers getting loud at the end there because Parsons was egging the fans on since they were chanting that at him on the set.
It's too easy. This is almost getting mean.
Not
No,
yet.
it's not.
No. Parsons and the Packers are 2-0 after this 27-18 final. The Commanders managed just 230 yards of offense. They missed 2 long field goals. They were denied twice on 4th down, and they lost Austin Eckler indefinitely to an Achilles injury. Packers receiver Jaden Reed broke his collarbone in this one. As if
Landry Shamet
wasn't enough, the Knicks are reportedly in agreement on a 1-year non-guaranteed deal with veteran guard Malcolm Brogdon. Apparently, these two will compete for a roster spot unless the Knicks trade somebody else.
Let's go, Knicks!
So,
Wait,
All
I
right, we
thought,
can keep moving that along. All
Well,
right,
I thought you were
what's
talking
next
about
on the
some
rundown?
European player, like it's Brogdon, short for Bogdanovich.
No.
You're talking about Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon.
We're winning the
Oh,
final.
okay.
Shamet,
I was a second
Brogdon.
behind you there. I'm
There's
sorry.
another Bogdanovich cousin.
I was like, oh, you mean Brogdanovich?
Just following the Schwartz mechanism, emphasizing
I
the
got
wrong
it now.
syllable.
I got it now because we got it.
Should we get
It's from the Schwartz coaching tree.
should we get Canyon of Heroes ready, by the way?
Yeah. What else?
I think so.
Meanwhile, this
Damn right
is
we did.
me resigning from the remainder of the baseball season.
Big right-hander with a left leg kick. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Duran strikes out the side. The Phillies win the ball game. Their magic number is down to 5 in the National League East. And for the Mets, a very dispiriting 6th consecutive loss. This one particularly so because they scored 4 runs in the first inning before the Phillies came to the plate and lose the ball game. Their 6th in a row.
This is not hyperbole or exaggeration. No one in the modern history of baseball has lost like the Mets lost last night. They scored 4 runs on 5 hits in the first inning and then did not get another base runner. Their last 25 batters were retired. They lose 6-4. As Howie Rose on Mets Radio said, the Phillies' magic number for the East is down to 5. The Mets have lost 6 in a row. Their lead on the Giants and the Reds for the last wild card is just a game and a half. I can't say a word because the Mets are ruining everything. And oh, by the way, old friend Jacob deGrom is on the mound at Citi Field tonight for the Rangers, who are fighting for their own playoff lives.
Well, if they don't give him any run support, then it'll be like old times.
Yeah. And he can't drive his own
he actually can't hit this time, so he can't even save himself.
Right.
Well, actually, to be like old times, the Mets can't score tonight. That's how it would be like old times.
Yeah, I guess it'd feel a little similar if somehow the Rangers don't give him any run support. But who's going to be managing the Mets next year? Because I feel like Carlos Mendoza is gone.
No, I feel like Carlos Mendoza now lives in the Aaron Boone world, where he's just going to sit there and take all the heat and the GM is doing this and making that decision. I don't, unless it's that bad in the clubhouse and he can't fix it. I think he's not going anywhere.
I can promise you guys do not want to be on the same boat as Aaron Boone.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway because the front offices do everything. What else you got?
The last thing, we talked yesterday about those 3 college basketball players who got caught gambling on themselves and are now permanently ineligible. The NCAA following up by announcing it's still investigating 13 other players from 6 other schools for similar offenses.
This is not going well.
No. And it is, it's also, I think, what people feared kind of the most. Like the schools involved are Eastern Michigan, New Orleans, NC, and North Carolina A&T, Mississippi Valley State, and then Temple and Arizona State. So 2 bigger ones.
I mean, Arizona State.
Again, right. But it's like it's not high-end stuff. It's kids who are not getting NIL money, who are not going to be pros necessarily, who are trying to make $20,000 because that matters to them.
Was Temple different from last year? Was Temple, right?
So I think this is still the Temple one that came up maybe 2 years ago and then went
Temple
away.
basketball.
Yeah, Temple basketball.
That was one of the earliest big legal gambling scandals we had.
Yeah.
Remember, they almost made the tournament because they went all the way to the conference championship game in the AAC.
But then it just stopped. Like nothing happened about it.
Yeah, I know.
So and now here we are.
Well, this is the other part, too. So now the athletic departments get $20 million, in theory, to spread around to all of the sports. It's not going to happen. Unless your school literally does not have football, football's going to eat all of that money.
Wow.
But maybe not at Duke, but in North Carolina, but everywhere else.
But you only need to pay a few basketball players.
But even still, like like we talked about this with Alabama. Do you think if they have a season where they don't make the college football playoff, no one's going to get another penny?
That $20 million thing that's not real.
What do you mean?
That's like a NCAA rule. That's like.
No, but you need more money on top of it. I understand that. But for teams
but I'm saying
to cry
nobody. My sense is people are just ignoring that law as if it doesn't even exist.
But I also think though it's also, unless I'm wrong, you don't get $20 million. You can spend
$20 million.
Some of these schools don't have $2 million to pass around to players. So that's why they're out there. Is like maybe that's why they're out there doing prop bets on themselves because that's where they're getting their money from.
This is where I was going with this. I think that you're going to see in the other sports, like football, basketball have been mostly the scandals, baseball a little bit. I think you're going to start to see it in the sports where they're getting absolutely $0.
But can you bet on those?
Sure. Certain places. As long as you're not in the state, I think, of where you're betting. Like I can't bet on Rutgers football.
Right.
When I'm in New Jersey.
I can, but I can't bet on Army.
Yeah, right.
Volleyball.
Yeah,
but I don't.
You can bet on volleyball.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, but I don't think an NCAA athlete can bet on any NCAA sport. I think that's an NCAA rule.
So you could put a ton of money on a volleyball match?
No. Well, I don't know how much, but if you're doing a Jonte Porter type thing, where it's like I'm going to go under on my kills, then I'm getting paid by someone else.
Right, but I think technically you can't bet at all. Like whether you're scamming the system or just betting on something, you can't do that as an NCAA athlete. Now, they're different punishments, different sins, but it's not like you can't validly bet on football if you're a volleyball player or anything like that. Like, so you would have to then mix in the personal messing up of your stats to make any kind of cash out of that. So you're just wrong altogether.
Yikes. Although some people would say this is the system working. Because they're catching people. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Those people would be DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, it's like technically correct, but what you need to know is what you can't know is that if it's actually stopping, how many people it's stopping from doing it in the first place.
Yeah, or people seeing this being like, oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to.
Right. I don't want to run this risk. I'm going to get caught.
Yeah, get my name dragged through the mud or whatever.
You can bet on college hockey, by the way, here in New York on DraftKings, Pearl.
No way.
Nods head.
Get your bean pot. That's him.
Putting everything on BC.
Okay, lots more to do. Bogusch, thank you so much. Coming up, we will tell you what we're going to be betting on this weekend, and also we'll give you next week's King of the Mountain, Maggie and Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining.
Those yellow 994, he's always on the stream. Don't yell out 994, he's always on the stream watching Maggie and Perloff live in the dream. But when the AI songs start to play, Dom's hitting that mute button, no delay. Dom says AI songs are trash, they're just no good, not funny at all. Like a robot would, he's got the remote in his hand, ready to bail. AI says a humor, epic fail. He's there for the sports, the hot takes, the vibe. but AI songs, nah, not his tribe. Tom wants the real stuff, jokes with some zing. Not a robot trying to make him sing. Tom says AI songs are trash, they're just no good, not funny at all. Like a robot would, he's here for the banter, the laughs, the fun. But when AI starts singing, Tom's on the run.
Break ends in 5 seconds.
About our survivor pool. You guys nodding in unison. Yeah, if the Ravens don't win, basically the whole pool's over.
I know.
It would have been like the Broncos last week. The whole thing could have been shot straight to hell in the first week. Might be second week. We'll see.
I mean, I think there's some Cardinals over the Panthers.
That's right.
And then, is that what you went with?
That's what Hickey went.
No,
Yeah.
EJ already burned the Cardinals last week.
You know, one of the biggest spreads is the Lions over the Bears.
Not touching that one.
You can peacock all you want.
Let's get to some people who have a lot at stake in college football this week. We'll give you some bets, too. Perloff's busy on the DraftKings right now. But, EJ, give us some games. We'll tell you who's got the most at stake in this game.
Okay, let's start with my beloved Miami Hurricanes facing USF this weekend at Hard Rock. Who has the most at stake in this one?
Perloff,
I would go for me, it's the one thing I don't trust about the Miami Hurricanes is Carson Beck. He comes up on these monitors we have, and he just has that look about him, the Carson Beck look. Now, he looked great, obviously, in week one. Not by great, but not Cam Ward great. I feel like if Miami loses, it's going to come on him more than anyone in the program.
Yeah, to me, it's Mario Cristobal. Now, just full disclosure, I won with Miami week one when they beat Notre Dame. EJ, I'm going back to the Miami train this week, 17 and a half. I love the Bulls story. I think it's great, but I think Miami is also looking at that like, come on. Like, not that USF is not a good opponent. I just think they're taking this now as a game that maybe you could have overlooked to now a game they are absolutely going to be full throttle. And the only thing that can mess it up to me is Mario Cristobal.
Well, I feel like, what's that Florida try and run it and slow it down? And that's why that's a lot of points. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear you say that because you've been talking about USF all week.
I know. I love the story, but I think it's going to come to an end.
How about Florida versus LSU?
Oh, Billy Napier. I mean, this might be Napier's last game. We were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Would he get fired if they lose badly to LSU? I think it's possible because maybe you think, Pearl, if you're Florida, we could still salvage the season. We went back and looked at Billy Napier's buyout. Very manageable if Florida did want to move on.
I don't feel like, and I'd like to guess, like you fire somebody this early. Like, I don't think that happens, does it? I mean...
Well, he was on the hot seat last year, though, so it's not like it's out of nowhere.
And we mentioned Mike McDaniel, like, we definitely in the NFL, I'd be surprised if there was ever a firing after week two. It's early. I mean, listen, I totally agree. Billy Napier couldn't have more pressure. Even if they don't fire him, he's clearly dead man walking. And as you said, like, the schedule just gets insane, so that's not going to help.
One of the underrated rivalries in the SEC, Georgia travels to Tennessee.
To me, it's Gunnar Stockton has the most pressure on him because so far this offense has not looked exactly like we thought. Took a while to put away Austin P, if you know what I'm saying, Pearl.
Yeah, it's so funny. There is 0.0 hype around the Georgia Bulldogs right now. It almost feels like, do you guys remember 3 years ago they were the face of college football? I don't know why. I just see no love for them. I think they could use a really like a big, impressive win here.
And finally, the Fighting Irish hosting Texas A&M.
For me, I put this on Marcus Freeman. We look at Notre Dame and the way the college football playoff works and said they should have basically an easy path to the playoff every year. Made the national title game last year. They go 0-2, then I think it's going to be really hard to get back in the playoff. And I think he is going to take the heat.
I mean, you're right. Nick Kostos, if you missed it earlier in the show, you can always catch the Maggie and Perloff podcast or the rewind function on Odyssey. I believe he said was Marcus Freeman brain dead in the first half of the game against Miami. Not impressed, obviously, with what Notre Dame was doing, but you know they hung in that game at the end. I think it's probably Marcel Reed, the quarterback, maybe for Texas A&M. I'm dubious that the committee is going to actually keep out Notre Dame, even with 2 losses, just because the brand's so big. I'm a skeptic. But for Texas A&M, they're going to be in a dogfight here with these other SEC teams to try to get in as an at-large.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless they win this. I mean, they might be really good. They have these receivers and this kid, Casey Concepcion, who people are talking about Heisman buzz already. Yep. The question, and they have a backup for Marcel Reed if he doesn't work out, who's really good too. So they're a team that, like, we just don't know what to do with them. Like, right, like A&M, they're harder. If they win this game, then I think we're talking a lot more about them. And it even looks like a better loss for Notre Dame.
What college bets are you looking at? Because I told you, Miami laying that 17.5 is going to be a big one for me. And I'm actually taking Tennessee plus the 4.
I'm taking the A&M money line. I think it's like plus 180 I got it. I already put that bet in because I think talent-wise they're right there with Notre Dame. You know what game we haven't talked much about, but I'm obsessed with? Vanderbilt at South Carolina. I am a Vanderbilt fan. I'm not going to lie, they are just plucky. And they took what they did at Virginia Tech. Like, we should be talking about that. And Lenore Sellers is getting so much hype. Right now, I see South Carolina -4. I actually don't have the guts to pick Vanderbilt in this one, but I want them to win. I'm rooting really hard at that one.
Yeah, I had to come clean on this last week when that game was tied, Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt. I live bet the Hokies. They did not score another point in that game.
if you were going to pick a team just based on brass and just like cocky and attitude, it's Vandy. But yeah, for me, the big one is Texas A&M, Notre Dame. It's a big night. There's 3 games on a night. Everything good is a night this weekend. Thank
you, EJ Stewart. Thank you, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Weedo's Coffee Drinkers. You know who you are. Nick Kostos from You Better You Bet. You can download the Maggie and Perloff podcast. As I mentioned, 5-star reviews are oh so helpful. And we will be back with you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend.